plate. Come on, grab your friends, we'll go and play some Tribes Ascend with Dark Matrix and Stowaway. It's gonna be great, it's behind the blue plate.
Hello there, Tribes fans. Welcome to Behind the Blue Plate with a slightly altered cast for you tonight. We've got somebody else in the top right corner. How you doing tonight, Juzzo?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing absolutely fine. The sun is shining, Tribes is on. Let's do this.
Yes, speaking of Tribes being on, for those that might be wondering, Stowaway is actually playing a game tonight. He's playing for NMZ, I want to say versus 1UP. We were talking about this literally seconds ago. Let's bring that up just for fun. And we're going to talk about it later, but yeah, NMZ versus 1UP. So he's going to be playing for them. He decided that playing Tribes was more important than coming on a show and talking about Tribes. Not sure if I can justify
So
that.
I stole his seat, very much like the 5 second rule. It's,
So thank you very much for filling into us tonight, Juzzo. Very, very appreciative. And of course, we've got a cool panel tonight. We've got sort of the leaders of their respective divisions over there in NA and EU. Let's start with you, Jim Christ. How are you doing this afternoon for you?
Oh, not too bad. Happy to be here.
It's good to get a little bit more of you in the frame this time. Usually we've just got this kind of weird half your head thing going on.
I got it all figured out now, so the webcam can be in a decent spot. So
awesome. And like we always do, it's good to get some introductions. So yeah, for those potentially in the Europe scene, or for those North Americans that haven't encountered you yet, who are you, and what is your involvement with the Tribes community?
Well, I guess I run NAtribes.com, the website, run the competitive mumble, and yeah, organize the NATLs, that's the North American Tribes League, and sort of help a tiny little bit with the ladder, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And
are you playing competitively yet? I ask you this every time, and you're never on a team. When I ask you.
No, it's I rang for one game in a scrim since last time, but you know, I don't. It's too much work, too much time.
Well, I hear that. But you know, I guess it's not for everyone. I'd love to play in a team, but yeah, I barely get to play the pugs, let alone the competitive scene. If you would play for someone, which team would you want to join, Jim?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, there's a couple. There's a couple teams I hang out with a bit, so you know. I don't know. One of them.
One of them. You know who you are out there. You know who Jim would play for. Cool. Well, thanks again for joining us tonight, Jim. Very excited to hear what's been happening over there in the NATL, but opposing you in the opposite corner in the blue trunks, we've got GReaper of the European scene. How are you doing tonight, GReaper?
Good evening. I'm pretty good.
Good. Great to have you on yet again. And yeah, like same question I asked Jim. Sort of, what's your background in Tribes, and what do you do for the community?
I've been around since Tribes 1. For Tribes Ascend, I was part of Working As Intended. I'm currently a sub for Aurum. I help out with Game Shrine, running the ladder and the league there, and also run Mumble for the European community.
Oh yeah, that's right. You picked that up after the last one kind of disappeared, as it were.
Yes, let's leave it at that.
Yeah. And how has that been? Is that like is that a demanding task to run a Mumble? I have no idea.
No, I tried to delegate the responsibility out and let the community deal with it.
The latest thing I noticed on the EU Mumble is it automatically drops you right down to the bottom if you're away for a while.
Yes, it's been a little bit unpopular, but it helped tidy it up a bit.
So yeah, I guess get rid of some of those AFK channels that everybody's got in their own team.
Yeah, and a few managed to pop up, and even though they decided to call themselves not really an AFK channel, we know what they really are.
I think you've done a great job, but are you going to do anything to clean up the top, especially around the EU Pug stuff? We've got the top, and then Ublugs, and then Game Shrine Draft, and all these channels that kind of just sit there idle. Is there any chance to get those cleaned up and moved away as well, or are they? Stay?
One step at a time. I don't want to enrage the community too much.
Well, it's kind of like ripping off a Band-Aid, right? Just get it all done over in once, otherwise you're just like slowly tearing the hairs out of your leg.
Just as long as you don't put that hideous logo, I mean, lovely icon that the American players have when you log into their tribes, which is just ridiculous.
I was hoping to have a Help Keep Britain Tidy one modified, just under the Help Keep Mumble Tidy announcement. But maybe I'll sort that out later.
Fair enough. And do we have your penguin in attendance tonight?
He's upstairs. He might make an appearance later, Mr. Flibble.
Mr. Flibble, that's right. I remember his attendance in the last one. That was very cool. Juzzo, what's
Hello,
the card
sir.
for tonight?
This is my job. I'm supposed to know what we're talking about and all these topics, which is why chat is not allowed to distract me. For the first time ever, I have to stay focused and professional and on the game and stuff like that, on the ball, and understand what I'm doing basically. Which isn't going to happen. So we're going to talk about a lot of tournaments. We're going to talk about the NATL and the EUTL, and possibly the ASTL. Keeping that one quiet, and even the OCTL, but don't tell anyone because they don't know about that one yet. That's something I'm running. We're going to go through the results of the last soccer tournament, and we're going to talk about the Frag Nation tournament. So you guys better start Googling Frag Nation to find out what that's all about. We're going to go through a couple of posts that we've had on Reddit with some interesting and exciting topics, such as the top 80 player rankings, and then we'll go through the usual jazz that we have at the end of each show, which will be the Blue Plate Challenge, the plays of the week, any fails of the week, and then some call-ins from some people. So without further ado, let's get straight on to talking about the NATL. And the first bullet point says relegation matches, and then it has another bullet point under it saying triumvirate, NV, and Internet qualifier. I'm sure I'm meant to be making a kind of narrative out of this, but thus far I'm failing pretty exceptionally. Let's hand over to Jim to talk about why has the NATL been postponed? That is my question to you, sir.
Well, there was a lot of people requesting it be delayed a bit. I guess finals in the U.S. are this week. I don't know. My finals were back in April? Yeah, April. So there was that. There was, we were a little bit behind in the setup, and I was going to be a bit busier than I had originally expected to be this week. So wasn't able to run games on Monday, and then, I'd rather just wait a week to get everything started right instead of having to deal with rescheduling a single game already. So that's why it's been delayed till May 11th. So it's, 1 week delay till Monday. Give the House League teams a bit more time to sign up. Give the, any players who have finals right now time to finish up those finals, and then, and we got started in the first week or second week of May.
Fantastic. And have the tournament full tournament details been announced today, or am I supposed to be doing that right now? Is that I've lost a piece of paper. I don't know.
I mean, there was a news post we put up last night with a bit of details. It's essentially, so I mean, there's a bit more info. I don't know if that had everything. We do again have the $2,500 prize pool. And other than that, it's pretty much the same format. We're waiting on rules till Friday, so we're still deciding whether we're going to ban Sonic Punch or limit infiltrators. And we're still trying to pick a final map to replace Blue Shift, since Blue Shift is a little buggy. So there'll be a vote on Friday with the captains, basically a captain's vote. They get, as long as their team has scrimmed with our test rule set, we'll let them. They'll have a vote. If they don't scrim with the rule set, they won't have a say in what happens. So, has
there been any discussion about maybe matching up with the EU, given that we're discussing new rule sets as well, or is NA happy to kind of move ahead, firm in the belief that you made a better job of it than we did last time?
I mean, they're pretty similar now. The only difference, I think, is going to end up being maybe slightly less restrictions on infiltrators, and I don't think. I mean, there's been very little interest in banning perks. There's been a bit of talk of banning safety third, but that's it. I don't think anyone in North America wants to ban reach. So that's just something where, I mean, I don't think we wouldn't be banning reach.
And what about the plasma gun? That's the other thing that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to Euros, I guess.
I mean, I don't think anyone had any issues. We had the plasma gun last season. No one really complained too much. They didn't seem to have any problems with it. So I don't think we'd be removing that. I don't know if you guys tried it out last season or.
Oh no, we don't try things. We just ban, and then they're banned forever. We don't ever go back on our word. That would be like, admitting that we made a mistake.
Yeah, they've been tried in pugs a bit, but I think most competitive players were rather against it.
I mean, I think like if we were to go and ban base assets, then I mean there wouldn't be as much of a need for the plasma gun anymore. I don't think, but it does like, open up a bit more options for loadouts, and it is really good against base turrets at taking down the shields and killing them. So that was kind of the reason to put it back in after it was heavily nerfed, and then it comes to be a counter to the base turrets, or it works effectively against them. So that was kind of the reason for putting it back in, and like I said, no one complained. So
yeah, cool. So will that captain's meeting be streamed and be kind of people able to participate and watch it, or is it going to be a private affair?
It's difficult to get like all the captains to sit down at one time, so it will probably just be going around and asking them individually and tallying it up.
In terms of voting on stuff, last week we talked about the ladder changes that were mentioned in terms of maps. So that was Crossfire, Raindance, Stonehenge, and Sunstar all getting introduced into the NA Tribes ladder. Has that carried through into NATL as well? Or are those 4 maps? I mean, I guess I'm particularly interested in Stonehenge and Raindance being interesting choices to have in the map pool. Are they in NATL this season?
I mean, I like to stick to 9 maps in the map pool. I think that's once we expand it to 9 maps, we get maps where teams or players are saying, well, this map isn't great, but it's not terrible either. So like that's kind of what's happened with maps like Tartarus and stuff. I don't really want to expand it hugely to match that that ladder. That was something the ladder admins decided to do. I think their idea is they'll try them out and then have players vote, I guess. And if enough players ever vote, then they'll remove the map from the map pool. So like right now, if they had a vote, to remove Crossfire, and some like 75% of the teams voted to remove it, it would be removed. Their idea is they want to test all the maps, and that's how they're going to force people to test them. I don't necessarily think that the For Money League should be testing out maps like that, especially when there is a ladder to do it for us. If there's new maps released, they'd probably get added in right away, but I don't think we'll be matching that.
So, I mean, at the moment, looking at the rules on the NA Tribes site, there's Dry Dock, Arx Navina, Catabatic, Dangerous Crossing, Permafrost, Bella Omega, and Canyon Crusade. Is that the final map pool? You said there's one more to be voted on, or is there something else missing here as well?
Permafrost, that's only... Oh, Tartarus should be on that list.
Okay.
Yeah, Tartarus is there as well, and then there's one in addition, so we'll get 9 maps.
Okay.
A lot of people were against adding Tartarus, so I actually took it out. So we would have an odd number of maps for the finals when we took out, or for the playoffs where we took out Blue Shifts. But a lot of teams have been saying, it's not a great map, but it's like decent. It's not like their favorite, but it's good enough. So we'll be adding that back in.
And what's been sort of the approach to setting rules for you guys at the moment? Like, has it been people suggesting them, and you kind of, who's orchestrating that, and how are suggestions made and ratified?
Well, there's 2 forums for it. There's a Pro League forum, which is private, and there's a public forum that anyone can go and post their opinions on. Regarding kind of finding, like, there's I don't think there's necessarily like a final process to decide rules. It really depends on what the rule is. Like with the maps, it'll just be a straight majority wins, right? So, if 40% of people vote to add, Crossfire as the 9th map, then Crossfire is going to be added. With something like banning the soldier spin, or the infiltrator stealth spin fuser, it's going to be something like, 60% or 70% of people vote to ban it. It'll be removed. So it really depends on the individual thing that's being voted on, how much, because whereas, for example, with the maps, we need 9 maps, right? It's not like it's optional, it's something that we need. Whereas with the stealth spin fuser, my kind of philosophy on it is when you're removing something from the game, you shouldn't be doing it based on just a sole majority. It should be a bit more than that, because when you're doing just the majority, right, you end up with if you have a majority of teams, then they can force everyone to play their style of tribes instead of letting kind of fringe teams have their own strategies and ways of playing.
So just to maybe clarify for those that might not understand, due to the format, why is 9 maps so important?
Because each team will play three sets of 3 maps throughout the group stages. 9 maps just fits that well,
Yep.
and you don't have situations where a team may be really good at, say, a specific map or a specific style of play, like maybe a really strong cluster team. They get an extra, map that's cluster, and another strong cluster team gets a bigger map that maybe doesn't work as well for that strategy. Then, there's some kind of that it didn't end up fair. So 9 maps just keeps everything fair. Everyone plays the same maps, and you don't have any problems,
Cool.
or as fair as you can be, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And might as well get GReaper in on this conversation. How does that relate with your kind of experience of maps and such in EUTL? As you've been developing the map pool for us over here.
Well, we had 10 maps, which was possibly a bit of a bad number, as ideally need an odd number when it comes down to bans, so that each team can ban one. I think we found 10 maps possibly a bit too much. The quality of the game improves when cappers and the rest of the team practice a map. So if you've got too many maps, then teams aren't going to really do their best on some of the lesser-known maps. So that's one of the things that we're trying to sort out for Season 2.
Okay, yeah, and did that kind of feed into which maps you chose to pick and to remove, or was that based on just how much people enjoy spectating and how much people enjoy playing those specific maps?
Just get rid of the boring ones.
Just get rid of the boring ones, which is why XF is no longer in there. Exceptional. So we'll clarify on NATL again. I'm sorry to jump between the two tournaments. I know it's slightly confusing. But the NATL final rules and map pool will be confirmed and set on this Friday. So be ready to be paying attention then. It also means that the House League signups close in 2 days' time as well. So everything happens in NA by this Friday, and that means things kick off on Monday. Is that right, Jim?
Yep. I'm hoping to have a schedule posted hopefully Friday night. But that's all dependent on how busy things end up being, what happens with with getting everything finalized and ready to go. So it would either be Friday night or Saturday night. One thing I actually wanted to announce, if you don't mind, on a slightly related topic is last season we tried to help pro league teams with their scheduling, so we basically did a first come first serve thing where they could, say, hey, I my team can't play this day, and we would accommodate them. So I'm going to tell all the teams in person, but in case I forget to tell someone or something. For pro league teams with their scheduling, I think at Friday at noon, I'm going to start taking requests for scheduling, and it will be first come, first serve. And that way, hopefully a bit fairer than last time where no one really knew they could request scheduling, so some teams may not have taken advantage of it. But yeah, so if teams have a day they can't play, or they want to play a specific day a week, it'll be first come, first serve. So if someone comes Friday and says... someone comes Friday at noon and says, hey, and they're the first person and says, my team can only play Mondays, then we'll schedule all their games on Mondays, no problem. The other thing I wanted to announce about the coming season was we decided to change around our qualifiers a bit. Or our relegation matches, I guess. So we're going to be taking 2 extra teams into that. We'll have the 2 top teams from Pro League, and we'll also have the 2 top ladder teams. So basically, with those 2 ladder teams, it's whoever doesn't qualify through another means of either already qualifying through the Pro League from being in the Pro League, or have already ended up in the relegation matches, either by being at the bottom of the Pro League or the top of the House League. Those 2 ladder teams will be added to the relegation matches. So if teams, say, don't have, teams are just starting up now and they're not going to have enough players for the House League signups, what they can do is they can sign up for the ladder and they can work on that and potentially still qualify for Pro League. On top of that, we're also taking 4 teams from the Pro League and putting their spots up for grabs. So it's not going to be the bottom 2 anymore. It's going to be the bottom 4. So that'll be the 2 teams who don't qualify for our playoffs, as well as the 2 teams that get knocked out first round of the playoffs. And so a bit more spots up for grabs. Hopefully allow for a bit more movement between the teams in the Pro League instead of limiting it to only 2.
So, I mean, I guess I was going to follow up. Sort of, is that the reason, just to try and encourage more people, get people more excited in the house league, or just to try and keep the pro league more dynamic? Sort of, what's the reasoning there?
Well, I think, I mean, it hasn't necessarily happened yet, but it certainly seemed like it might happen where some of our teams that had qualified for the Pro League would not have the same roster or would have a drastically different roster. And I think if you're going to, if a team is going to come in the bottom 4 of the Pro League and then, but make it through and stay in for next season by qualifying for the playoffs, I mean, like, it seems to me like if they, their spot should still be up for grabs. So maybe that's not the best way of describing it because that's not the case for all teams. But basically, it's like I think the skill level of teams and things like that are more dynamic than two spots allows for, is what I think. So like you see teams like Vex, shoot from being a like rank 9 or 10 on TWL 4 months ago to getting up and competing for that top spot on the TWL ladder as early as like February, I think, or maybe even January. So people can kind of shoot up really quick, and we want to allow the possibility for more teams to do that.
Okay, and I had a follow up on that, and it's blanked my mind. Oh yeah, so one of the questions I had was in terms of the Pro League and rosters and teams kind of sticking around. Have you had any problems over in NATL for anyone that was in the Pro League automatically dropping out or having severe roster fluctuations? Has that hit you guys over there?
Not really. No, there's been a couple things where it's looked like some teams might stop playing, but and there's been rumors going around, but I usually confirm with the team and it's no problem. Right at the end of the Pro League, it looked like Epi might not be around anymore, but I believe they are going to be in next season. And for a while there were some rumors that ZFC might not be continuing on, but again, I went to their captain and confirmed that they were. So a bit of worries about it, but it hasn't happened yet, which is nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Juzzo, any follow-ups on any of
that? No, I mean, I'm happy to let Jim keep talking about NATL. He's the guy that knows about it. I mean, when we get onto EUTL, I'm just going to hand over to Jim. I understand this role as host. I don't have to talk that much. I just drink and make sure people in chat are being polite. No, I think it sounds spectacular, and I'll obviously be listening on Friday to keep up with the new rules, especially and see where you guys are going, because I think actually the rules are, aside from the games being played themselves, are the most interesting meta that is being developed at the moment, and I think it's fascinating to see how it changes or has changed over the last 6 months. So I'm eager to see what you've got. And I hope that you'll be able to publish those and get those out on Reddit pretty snappily after you've made your decisions.
GReaper, I mean, in the EUTL, how much do you guys sort of watch what the NATL guys are doing? Timing-wise, they're a little bit ahead of EU, so they're always going to be that one step closer to having things finalized than perhaps EU are. So, sort of, how much does what they've decided influence what you guys are thinking about?
We're always keeping an eye on them. If they've got any good ideas, and we'll consider them. But yeah, I think that's all I can say about it.
Fair enough. EU is its own man?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool. So the other thing to perhaps mention is that the NATL games will be cast on Monday to Thursday at 10 p.m. EST, so that's 3 a.m. For you Euros. So,
well, hey,
yeah, a bit unfortunate.
Lucky us.
I mean, how is that affecting Hulag's wins? I have heard some of the Euros dropping out of that because.
Who cares about Hulag's wins? It's affecting my sleep pattern. That's for sure. Like,
well, yeah.
I think they might be. They're looking for, I think, more North American players. They're not sure if all the Europeans are going to want to get up that early. It's kind of unfortunate that it has to be that late, but 10 p.m. Eastern is 7 p.m. Pacific, and if you go any earlier than 7 p.m. Pacific, you're potentially, conflicting with people's like work lives and or their school commitments, So 10 p.m. is about the earliest I think we can go without hurting the West Coast people too much.
Yeah. That's
Well,
interesting.
Nark's saying in the chat that Who Lags Wins is dropping all the Euro players. I'm just trying to see if we can get confirmation on that, but that would make sense to as playing that late sustained is pretty tricky. Yeah, Nark's saying that JP, Nordsmark, and Black are currently have currently dropped out. So we'll see how that develops, I suppose.
I mean, we've got there's a backup plan in place if they can't get a roster. So
Jim
we'll
Price is going to fill in.
what we'll do is I guess we'll take the team that came in third place in relegation, which is Puppy Kisses, and they'll be in the Pro League to fill in for them. But if not, I mean, I hope they don't. I mean, they can, I'm sure, find some people who are willing to play. So,
well, what
fingers
about
crossed that they'll manage.
In terms of rosters, then, just say, when do they have to have their roster finalized? When is sort of like the lockdown on switching players?
I mean, the rosters are completely free to be changed all throughout the Pro League. The only time they're really restricted is during the playoffs, where they have to stick with a set roster. They can't add players to their team after the playoffs start. But during both the group stage and the relegation matches, for any teams that are involved in them, the rosters are free to be modified or changed. The only restriction would be they can't pick up someone that's already played. Right.
Okay. Cool. So just to clarify another thing, so the relegation matches are all done then?
Yes. It's slightly confusing because we had a team actually drop out of the relegation matches. TXM, I guess, had some roster issues at the start. They lost some of their players, and they couldn't get a team together to play. So it's kind of unfortunate for them, especially at the end of the House League. They really were one of the up-and-coming teams, but that happens, and so we'll see if they I believe they're signed up for next season. So, I mean, they're going to continue going with or without those players they lost. And, I am wrong. They're not signed up, so I don't know if they're going to sign up or not. We'll see. Anyways, they are done now. There was only 3 games because there was only 3 teams involved, and Internap and Triumvirate, which is formerly known as Envy, both came out on top and qualified for Pro League.
Excellent. And the other thing is, once you're kicking off, you're streaming 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. Who are the NATL casters for that? Who do we get to have the pleasure of listening to?
I believe, I haven't 100% confirmed this, but it looks pretty likely Helomar will do Mondays, and then after that, it's anyone's guess. I mean, there's plenty of casters in North America who are interested in still casting tribes, so we just got to get them all set up with dates and times. Yeah.
Well, no doubt Dodge Pong will still be around. I know he's quite invested in all that sort of stuff, and I know Winters over there at the IBN crew are always interested in sticking with tribes. So you guys are quite fortunate over there to have at least sort of 3 different kind of groups of people that are willing and capable of covering the matches. So that's awesome for you guys.
Yeah, Freaky is still interested. I know Winters seems to be still interested, and we've got plenty of other people. I know Fish Sticks wants to cast some matches, so hopefully we can get him in to do a couple, and yeah. Cool.
Good stuff. All right, well, anything else you'd like to mention or announce for NATL, Jim, before we move on?
I think that covered everything.
Okay.
That was pretty thorough.
Yeah, I guess head over to natribes.com. It's under the league drop-down under House League. You can sign up your House League teams, and of course Pro League teams as usual. You don't need to sign up for anything. You'll be automatically added in and set up.
And announcements will be made both on the website and hopefully with links through Reddit and everything else, I guess, on Friday when they're announced.
Yeah, they'll be posted up on the website under the news section and should be posted to Reddit as well as soon as they're up.
Fantastic. Well, let's keep in the same vein, but move over a large body of water to GReaper. How's it going, sir? I was about to say Grimble, and I managed to stop my tongue, which was I'm quite proud of that. So, take us through the current state of ETL. Obviously, you've been very invested in this, and look at this. The bit underneath me is changing. Oh my god, that's well exciting. Okay, yeah, let's talk ETL.
Yeah, well, first up, we've got the relegation and promotion matches. They're currently underway. I think there's another week or so left on them. First game being played was Team Climax versus Dirty Little Secrets.
This was a rematch of the House League finals, I believe.
Yeah. Looks like the games are pretty close, but Dirty Little Secret's winning all of them.
Yep. It's interesting, the bets here. Oh, that's not the bets, that's the teams. Well, there we go. Shazbucks. 5892 Shazbucks. I did not vote on the game. Normally it gives you the breakdown of who voted.
Scroll down.
Yeah, it's not there. It's just game discussion and... Oh no, the votes. There we go, sorry. I thought that was the rosters for a second. Got that completely wrong. Wow, long shot really went all in on DLS.
It's a man with faith.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, so pretty much a repeat of the finals from the playoffs for them.
Yeah. Well, good to see that result, actually. It sort of proves that the right team won the House League, in a way.
Yep. And following on from that, we'll have the EUTL Season 2, which, if I link it in chat, if I can find the right window.
Well, there you go. It's on the screen at the moment.
There we go. We're announcing the sign-ups for Season 2 today. So, one moment.
Oh, I'm getting Skyped. Okay. Do you need to move, GReaper? Okay. We've lost GReaper for a very short time. So we'll pick up where he left off. But basically, the EUTL Season 2 is on the way, and yeah, so you've got the link there in the chat, and I think this is the same one I got on the screen. Yes, it is. So yeah, I mean, basically, it looks very similar to Season 1, $2,500 prize pool up for grabs from Hi-Res Studios. Someone's telling me to check out results for Bird versus XXX. I don't think Bird's even in the relegations, are they? Let's have a quick look. Relegation. No, they're not. I don't know what he's talking about. Stop derailing the
Look, you're being derailed by chat. Normally you get derailed by Stowaway. I'm going to put my foot down here and not allow this to happen.
Sorry, I was just stalling for GReaper. He's back now. He's back.
Exceptional.
Room. Yeah, so Season 2, where were we? Yeah, sign-ups are open. We'll be closing the sign-ups in 2 weeks' time. For the Pro League, the top 6 teams are invited back, and the top 2 teams currently will be, from the playoffs, will be going through to the 7th and 8th seed in the Pro League. What else is there? Changes for this season. We have got we're down from 10 maps down to 7 maps, which I'm sure quite a few of you will enjoy the removal of Rain Dance, Permafrost, and Crossfire.
So, I mean, you guys have gone for 7 maps rather than the NATL's 9. Is there a reason you've gone for 7?
Fewer maps so that the teams can practice on them a bit more.
Okay.
As I said earlier, games are a bit better when teams get to practice. And with 10 maps, it's quite a lot of routes to deal with when any of the games could be played in the playoffs.
Oh, GReaper, I'm going to have to stop you there. You are getting a lot of hassle in chat about the removing of permafrost right now. Can you explain that and explain the thinking behind it?
The games are pretty slow. Not many caps. Wow, I'm rather surprised that.
I'm amazed actually. Like, yeah, I'm surprised that permafrost getting such a defense. But yeah, go on, put forward your argument, and then we'll see if anybody in chat can actually put forward a better argument than thank star.
It's just it tends to be an excessively defensive map, and if we're reducing the map pool, then the rest of them are much better.
Cool. Well, so far, no strong arguments come out of chat. Nothing longer than like 4 words. So if anybody puts together a coherent argument, or even better, wants to come online and call in at the end of the show and argue with GReaper, then call in on our usual number 0800 call doc matrix. I don't know.
That would be
just
cool
get in the
if I
mumble.
had that.
That would be amazing. That would be utterly incredible. But yeah, if you've got some serious points to make about this and you're confused, then please come call in and take it up with GReaper yourself, because it would be interesting to have that discussion.
I mean, 9 possibly would have been a slightly better number for the league stage. That way teams would play each map once. So there'll be a few teams playing some of the maps twice in the first 2 weeks of the league bits. But I think it's a small price to pay to get rid of some of the not so popular maps.
Okay, and there's also a big note about rule changes. Obviously, this is going to be a big thing for EUTL. Now, the last EUTL, the matches were derided quite a lot in comparison to the NATL matches for being quite slow, quite boring, quite defense-heavy. And generally, it felt as though the rule set didn't have the pizzazz, to use a stupid word, that the NA games did. How have you rectified that?
We have decided on a new rule set, which, if you check the page, there's a link there. And basically, it removes a few of the things which slow the game down. Most importantly, base assets, motion sensors, claymores, and a few other tweaks as well.
So
Interesting.
I've got a list here. So the complete removal of base assets, as you mentioned, removal of the mines previously left in, which was claymores and motion mines, unbanning of shock lances on all classes except for the infiltrator, map-specific banning of deployables on crossfire and dangerous crossing, and the banning of the Spectre skin for the Sentinel.
Yes, and just before anyone says, the banning of deployables on crossfire will apply to the ladder at some point, which is why it's there, even though it's not in the map pool.
Cool. So basically just trying to shut down tech team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the games on that map have been pretty boring, so it makes sense to try and improve it.
What's your thoughts on that rule set, Jim?
I like it. I mean, I like banning base assets. No one really wants to do that or seem to want to do that, so we never did it. Other than that, and the perk bans, I mean, it's pretty much the same. We just don't have any perks bans, and I don't think, as I said, no one really wants reach ban. But Sonic Punch is interesting. I'm curious how long you've had it banned for, and if you've had any issues with people kind of turtling inside bases with flags on standoffs, because that was one of the reasons that was suggested to me to keep it in.
I think it's been about 6 or 7 months now.
Nope.
It was banned, whilst there were a lot of infiltrator issues.
Okay. Well, I guess that's not a problem then. Yeah, I mean, I for the most part, I think it's really good. And it's very similar. You're talking like 4 differences, really, right? With the perk bans and then the base assets being disabled. So.
Yeah, in a few ways, they're again pretty similar to each other. So.
But you two, as the organisers, sounding quite happy about this. Does this mean that in future we're looking for more room for convergence of the 2 rule sets, or are you guys happy to keep them as separate as they need to be for now?
You first, Jim.
I'd like to, that would be a good thing to work towards, I'd say. But, as I said earlier, there's a couple things that would need to be worked out, like reach being banned. I don't think many people in North America would have a problem with Sonic Punch being banned. Safety third, they might, but I mean, I don't think it's as big a deal. Reach, though, is the big one where I think you would have issues. I mean, most of the North American community likes Reach. I think, personally, that, something like Reach that maybe makes a Hoff's life harder, it also makes the game more exciting from a spectator's point of view, in my opinion. I would say with Reach you're going to get more flags out, so that means it's more exciting for a spectator. I would want to have Reach left in, but I mean, it's definitely something to work towards.
Yeah, I think the issues with Reach is that infiltrators can use it, so we don't want to try and promote infiltrator grabbing too much.
I'm sure.
And for safety third, personally, I think the gameplay is improved when there's a lot less grenade spam. We have primary and secondary weapons, and it's slightly disappointing when most of the clearing just involves grenade spam.
Yeah.
But that's just my personal opinion.
I mean, I'd have to like see what the community's opinion is now on things like base assets, but I would really think regarding that, if you wanted to just ban Reach on infiltrators, I think the North American community would have no problem with this rule set.
Is inf grabbing something that you guys have a problem with in NA? It's become, I wouldn't say it's necessarily become a big issue in EU. It's certainly become a big talking point, and we kind of see it when people are driven to it, especially on maps like Dry Dock, where it's just so easy. But yeah, as A4 Moondoggy asked, if imp capping is so amazing, why doesn't NATL see it so much, do you think?
Well, saw it a lot on Dry Dock, and occasionally on a couple other maps. I know, 5150 used it on the finals on Dangerous Crossing, I believe, so definitely gets some use. I guess they're Denial Esports now, actually, is kind of more of a fan of it than other teams. But it looks like we're going to have an infiltrator limit. So to me, once you put an infiltrator limit on, the inf capping isn't such a huge deal, because then you have a sniper who's alive. And I mean, I think any sniper worth their is they're going to be able to do a lot of damage to you after you have the flag if they're still alive, right? It's not like they need to kill you before you grab it. So that's my opinion. I mean, I don't think it'll be a huge issue now that we've limited infiltrators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think both the regions have had different problems with different things, which have resulted in these slightly different rule sets. I mean, we had an absolutely awful problem with infiltrators back in late 2002, 2012.
Oh, wow. That's 11 years ago.
That long.
With those invisible classes grabbing flags.
Things like 3 infiltrator offense, which is why Sonic Punch was banned, and things like that. So, I mean, that's how we've got to this point. Different styles of gameplay resulting in those bans.
I tried for ages to pressure, before the first season, I tried to pressure teams who were complaining about infiltrators and wanted to limit. I told them, go out there in a scrim, run 3 infiltrators, show me that it's overpowered, and we'll ban it right away, no problem. And no one did it. And I just sat there like, well, I mean, you guys all say this, but it's never happened here. So I guess it is a problem if it's done right. So that answers that question for us.
Yeah, I think it's mostly in pickup games where you tend to get infiltrators from quite a few teams.
Okay.
And
so
the problem shows up.
You get a lot of really good infiltrators, and then you have an issue. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're. The North American problem with infiltrators is mostly the inf capping. A lot of people see it as cheesy. I mean,
there's
I don't know
a lot of cheese in Tribes. You don't just ban it because it's cheesy. You ban it because it's Imba.
Yeah, well, I tend to agree with you, but if the majority of people want to ban something that it's because it's cheesy and it's going to stop, they want to ban it because they don't want to sit there every game and be like, oh, I'm really frustrated because they're losing because of it or something like that. So, well, I agree with you. I mean, if the majority of people want to ban, I don't want to be the guy who sits there and says to the community, no, you can't have what you want. So
makes sense.
Anyway.
We're getting good discussion from chat on this. So it's obviously a topic that people feel pretty strongly about either way, which is good. Encourage more discussion and growing things. As we go on, is anybody further to say about ETL? Dot Matrix, more questions or so, or are we okay to move along?
I think we've covered a lot. We covered a lot of rule stuff and thoughts. I mean, GReaper, is there anything else you want to mention or maybe hype? On the lead up here.
No, just that, sign-ups will be closed on the 23rd of May, so that's in 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
The game's starting on 27th,
okay.
with hopefully the playoffs starting on the 17th of June. which means we should be all wrapped up by the end of June.
So I've got a question for you. This is something that I know Hi-Res APC's been talking a lot about, where he's wanted sort of the schedule to be similar to NA, where all the games are done midweek and not necessarily on weekends, particularly on Sundays. What is the point of view at the moment over there in EUTL on that?
I think us admins have tried to get that sorted as well. Basically, Twitch tends to suck on the Sunday as well. So, yeah, we'll try and schedule all the games for during the week. Okay. So that leaves the weekends free for any other tournaments.
Okay, cool.
Like the soccer tournaments. And maybe a draft tournament or two. But, yeah.
Okay. I think the primary reason that APC, sort of on behalf of Hi-Res, is keen on that is just because of the viewership. On Sundays on Twitch, the viewerships are down, and the reason Hi-Res is putting any money into this at all is for the exposure. So they want to see the numbers happening on the stream, and by having it on the Sunday, they don't get the numbers, and so the ROI they get for their investment isn't what it should be. So I'm pretty sure that's why they would prefer it midweek, for anyone that might be curious. Cool. Well, while we're still on topic of EU, I think it's worth mentioning because it is underway. To be honest, I haven't kept up with it at all, but there is this TAW tournament. Does anyone know much about this? Juzzo, GReaper, have you really had much to do with this one?
I'm afraid I know nothing about this whatsoever.
I'm afraid I don't know much either.
We'll do it live.
let's turn to chat. If anybody knows, call in or let us know. Write a paragraph that we can read out. We'll go through another topic and then we can cover it. But if somebody knows about the TAW league that's currently ongoing in EU, please, the link's not that useful, Narc.
Well, he wants us to pimp this game. Basically, Pelican are playing Climax as we speak,
right?
And he's quite keen on this match. So it looks like...
I wonder if he has a vested interest.
Yeah, you might think that. So, I mean, Pelican are already 3 maps up. It looks like they're playing 5, potentially. Or maybe it's a best of 5. Again, I should know more about this, and I don't. But at any rate, Pelican are playing Climax at the moment. It looks like there's been a few other games played. And the top of the leagues at the moment is Nimblemine's Eternal, Method, which is Team Climax, I believe. Or are they different? Let me get this right. Method are different. Of course they are.
Yeah.
I remember.
Method's Method.
Yep. I know, but some of these...
I'm pretty good at this. I can name teams.
At any rate, we need to get further down the bracket before any of these really make any sense. Because, I mean, these are like just 1 wins. So until we get to at least round 2, this doesn't mean a lot.
True, but it would be nice to be able to understand what's going on and what the end state is. So if people have knowledge of this, please call in and inform us, because we are evidently useless and stupid.
Yeah, we should try and dig up who's organising this and get them to pimp it out. Because I've really given it no promotion at all because I really had not much information about it. So that's my bad. I'll put my hand up there. But yeah, I'd be keen to know what this is all about, and let's see if we can find a general page for this.
No, I agree. Sadly, I'd heard nothing of it, but my life has been an incredibly busy mess of stuff recently. So
yeah, there's no sort of just general info page, unfortunately. It does look like the finals are going to be single elimination knockout. That's got nothing on it. Upcoming matches, plenty of upcoming matches. So yeah,
we got any idea of the prizes or anything?
That's what I'm looking for. But there's an official forum. Let's see what's on there. There's the rules.
The one interesting thing is that there seems to be a few interesting subs. If you look at the some of the rosters, like the Nimble Mind Zero Life one, you see Crystallite on there.
Really?
And I think Shaz was trying to sub for Pelican in this one as well. I'm not sure what happened there.
Right.
He's not listed. Anne is though. Anne 92 on Pelican. That's new.
There's quite a few interesting subs for that tournament.
Knutsen's just come straight out with he hates Pelican, so he left.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I think we can't really do much more than speculate about TAW. So it'd be better to have some solid information if people could come on, or otherwise we'll cover it next week. But it's daft to procrastinate about something we don't know anything about. Okay. So let's move on to something we do know something about.
I've got to give one pimp because Little won't stop bugging me. Basically, Little wants to give a big shout out to Team Kill Out over there in NA, because there are a bunch of European players in that. I know Yods is European, Little clearly European. as well. Don't recognize any else out of my head. And he wants me to show their new logo, which he spent a lot of time putting together. So there you go, Little. That one's for you.
Beautiful.
As the rest of my panel wait for it to come up on the screen.
That is beautiful.
Okay, now let's move on, Juzzo.
Okay, well, we can do Frag Nation or we can do the soccer tournament. Frag Nation, there's not too much to talk about, sadly, other than people need to start signing up for it. Us Euros can't help you out here, guys. This is NA only, so if you want this to succeed, and I think we all do want it to succeed, then get signed up, get in there, get talking to the man with the shiniest of thighs, shiny thighs, because the only way this is going to grow is if people sign up and play it. 2 teams signed up at the moment, and we've been going on about it for 3 weeks. Come on, like we can do better than that, and they deserve better than that for putting in the effort and the time.
Well, the thing I'm a bit disappointed about is what Jim was saying before, because Texas Militia is one of the teams that signed up here, and it sounds like they might be a little bit inactive now. I mean, can you back that up, Jim?
No. Well, what I was saying was they lost some of their players. I'm not sure. It was kind of a setback for them because they had been practicing and working so hard. And, they lost some of their really good players, and that's my understanding at least. So it's unfortunate, but other than that, I haven't heard anything. So
okay.
I wouldn't really want to speculate that they are done. I mean, the amount of dedication that they had before, I assume that they are not. And I mean, it looks like there's still people in their channel on Mumble and stuff, so I'm assuming they're still around, but I don't know for sure.
Well, I'll drop the link into chat for the good of all the people who can hopefully use it. But yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, tribes won't grow and tournaments won't go bigger unless people sign up and play them. And while NATL goes on and the House League and such, there is other stuff to do. But these tournaments will fit in and around. And from what I understand, you have to play, 1 game a week on Frag Nation to stay active. And I'm pretty certain most people could probably just do that and sign up with their scrims on that site. But I've been quite a vocal proponent of Frag Nation. I think it's a good opportunity for tribes. I think it's a good opportunity for our players to get out there. And I'm just a little bit disappointed that more people haven't grasped the bull by the horns. It's not EU Knutson. No, this is an NA side, so we can't help out. Unfortunately, we can't go bolster their forces. This is the dollars are on their own.
But not only that, I mean, I'd like to see 5150/Denial Esports get on there, and I'm going to call them out because they are now kind of like that premier team, and maybe they'll be a bit of a trendsetter if they go and join something like this. So there you go, throwing it down.
I think it might just be I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much, but I think it might just be a lack of promotion. I mean, I hadn't heard about it until I saw this document.
Well, here I am promoting
that's crazy, because Remix was on last week, and he had never heard about it either. Does no one watch this show? God damn it.
No, it's been on Reddit at least twice. It's been on Behind the Blue Plate at least twice. We had Shiny Thighs himself appear through the magic of the internet to us. So I think there has been talk. It's unfortunate that you've missed it, but yeah, like there's a whole new ladder out there, and Shiny Thigh, who's the guy organizing it, has been really communicative and really open to suggestion, listens to people and what they want to say. So
he's really enthusiastic, and
he is.
The reason we're big on it is just because of the exposure that Frag Nation gets as a website.
Yeah, it's definitely like good promotion for the game, for sure. So.
Well, I think you're right in calling out Deny. So let's see if they step up to the challenge, or if they shirk away from their first calling as a the premier, the flagship tribes competitive team, if we're going to call them that right now.
Denial are getting bigger and bigger every time I hear about them. They've just picked up a Dota team, which apparently is quite a big deal. I don't know much about Dota, but I heard that the team they picked up is actually pretty respectable.
If it wasn't to everybody, if it wasn't obvious to people watching the stream, when I can't remember his name, but the guy came on,
Ringo Kid,
like that guy has passion and drive and knowledge and is clearly capable of getting stuff done. And if you don't recognize that when you listen to him talk, then that guy is going to go somewhere. So if you want to support a team that's going to go somewhere, get involved with Denial. And I'm not paid by him. I know nothing about him, but listening to him speak and the attitude that he brings, he's got the right attitude to go places. He's just got that drive, and that will get you very, very far. So if people want to get involved in that, I recommend go and talk to them. I know that we talked last week about Lumberjack getting involved on the tech side of things, and I think there's a great opportunity for people to get involved with these things.
Echo, that's a great pick related to Dota. By the way, Juzzo, I don't know if you saw the link in chat, but you should go read that Google Doc. I think you'll like it.
I can read that Google Doc. Can I read it out loud, or do I?
Go on.
Oh my God, it has my name in it. I'm not going to read that. Let's instead move swiftly on to another tournament. This is the fourth and last tournament we'll be talking about today. The OCTL and ASTL. If you hadn't figured it out, were jokes, pathetically inappropriate ones. However, the Sucker tournament is not a joke. It is real. It is here, and it involves strikes and real money. And it was a glorious waste of 2 hours last Saturday. I think everyone that was there had a lot of fun. We had a lot of great feedback from it. We had JPY taking out Kennett in the final 1v1 Shrike duels. GReaper is saying, "God damn it!" He's so excited by how good the tournament was. Knutson is just laughing at how glorious it was. It's fantastic. There's like High Voltage is loving it. There was a good feel about it, and hopefully, the numbers for Sucker tournaments have been increasing each week we run it. So for each month we run it. So the next month we'll hope to see more. I don't know if you were able to get the highlight video, Matrix.
Where is it? I can pick it up.
There was one on Reddit.
Oops.
If you head over to Reddit, you can maybe we could watch the final fight between Kennett and JP now, just so you can.
Well, you keep stalling and I'll get it.
Appreciate and understand how amazing it is. If you go to Reddit, I'm going to stall. This is me stalling, ladies and gentlemen. So how do I stall? Somebody in chat, give me a suggestion, quick. I'll tell you what, I'll stall by reading Quickly Tripping. Juzzo tripped along fast. He was on his way to meet his lover, Stowaway, for Valentine's Day. He smiled to see a cat hopping along, carrying a reward in its mouth, without an apostrophe. Slightly inappropriate, but... Juzzo was almost in Hogwarts when he came across a superstitious cake lying alone. What the fuck is happening? That must be a treat from my homoerotic bear, he said to himself, and tripped over it. The cake... No, this doesn't even make any sense at all. No.
What was the title of the Reddit thread, do you know?
Why am I full screen? That's horrific. Get rid of that right now. I don't want to see that.
Well, I asked you to stall, man. I can't find this highlight video. I need more information.
Reddit, sucker something. Just suck something on Reddit and it'll appear. Come on, chat. Help us out. This is rapidly falling apart. Suck a...
Elimination and Finals? Is this the one by Ricky985/Shepard985?
I think it was by Shepard.
Yeah, that's okay. This might be it. Well, it's 22 minutes long.
Yeah, Shepard. Yeah, no. Skip to the end. Skip to the end. Get the last 2 minutes. Like just JPY and Kennett. That's all I want to see.
Okay, cool. Let me get some decent quality here.
I have failed at stalling pretty badly.
I'll go to like minute 20. All right, here we go. It's got the bloody mumble chat.
Oh. That's our commentary. I don't know why you call it a bloody mumble chat.
Those are Cheerios.
What's going on?
Okay, SpaghettiOs? What the hell is SpaghettiOs?
Wait, you don't have SpaghettiOs?
You can make them suicide.
No!
They're like
Make 'em
little
suicide
rings
on
of
you.
spaghetti sauce.
He tried that.
That round went well for JP. That was nice. That ending, not
JP
quite
didn't
as...
ever shoot. That's why he's cheating. I was
Stop
waiting for him to
cheating.
shoot. Yeah.
Stop
JP's got no
shitting.
time for spaghetti. He's a salad only man. He likes his greens.
Knees weak, arms spaghetti.
Does he toss his
Salad on your sweater already.
Wow, did you just say that fucking hell, dog?
That was trust talk.
crap? This is the worst part I could have put on stream.
Does he toss himself?
Jesus Christ!
Is that what he said?
Oh my god.
Does he toss
Oh,
his
shit.
salad?
There goes my stream, my shiny reputation.
Vomit on the shirt already.
Final one.
There's vomit on his spaghetti already.
The final round.
Okay, I'm just pausing this. So now we're at the final point. So this was a best of 5, Juzzo? First to 3, basically?
Yeah, it's first to 3, and it went 2-2, so it was, brought down to the wire.
Okay, so this is the final point.
Guillaume.
On a salad spaghetti.
Wait. Who's streaming it? I need to watch this.
Kennett's streaming.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to
You
this.
just listening there.
Oh my. This is not
I'm
good.
editing a video. Hang on. Wait for me. I need to watch the stream. Wait.
Why are you not spectating in the game?
Because I'm fucking busy, man.
Clearly.
Wow. Yeah.
I am fucking busy. I'm
That makes
video
perfect
editing
sense.
while you're fucking talking about spaghetti.
Of course you are.
I am.
So you
I'm
say
literally
Those
Yeah,
videos
doing
are going
that.
to turn into this montage of bolognese.
Oh.
Whoa, dude, spaghetti.
JP's got himself the advantage here.
Is waiting.
Oh, you guys are gonna ruin it because the delays.
He's taking it.
Get wrecked.
That's it, right?
Oh my
Yeah, that is it. JP
Nice
won.
one.
There you go. So JP takes out.
Wow.
Kenneth in the
It
end.
was a pretty impressive ending. Like that barrage was beautiful. But that just gives people an impression. You're playing for money. You're playing on a Saturday evening. It's very chilled out. There is very little pressure. It's 30 people chatting crap in a Mumble channel and playing for money. So if you haven't yet signed up for a soccer tournament, I highly recommend you sign up for the next ones because they are great fun and it would be good to see you all there.
Any ideas what the next one's going to be, yours?
I am inclined to say it will be Grav Bike Duels, but not 100% confirmed on that yet. So 90% or so that it's going to be Grav Bike Duels.
Could we have tank duels?
We could have tank duels. The reason I say Grav bikes is that I've had 4 or 5 people call out for Grav bikes. So yeah, that's be interesting to see. Narc, the reason we don't, or I try and shy away from 2v2 is that the prize money, I want it to be worth it for people. As in, I want somebody that wins first place to at least be able to go out and buy, if not a TV, then a high quality hi-fi with their winnings. And with 2v2, sadly, you just Cambridge Audio don't do something that cheap. So it's got to be higher than that. That said, if people want to donate to sustain the tournament, I'm always open to that, and that includes gold codes, that includes skins, game of the year codes, money. All those things would be fantastic if people look for donations. It's community run. This isn't anything supported by Hi-Rez. Obviously, we play it on their game, but that's all it has to do with them. So if you feel you want to give something back to the community, either come along and play or get in touch and donate. Either would be wonderfully appreciated. But more importantly, just have a lot of fun because that's what we're all here for.
Awesome. And it's worth mentioning, and I've got this on the overlay, that 3 of the top 4, in fact, the top 3 were all from Team Flamboyant. That was JPY, Kenneth, and I want to say Guillaume.
Yep. Yeah. Like all, so the top 3 players all from the same tribe. So that's pretty amazing, to be quite honest.
That said, Matin wasn't there, Crystalite wasn't there, Remix wasn't there, Veer wasn't there. So
they all, to be honest, those people said they would be there, so I was hurt deeply. And Drunken Jedi is officially the 4th best striker in the world. So these things are facts. You can't argue with it, Arm Penguin, as much as you want to. You cannot argue with facts.
Hang on. Is that on wilderzone.org?
It should be. Oh my god, right. That's it. I'm getting in touch with Holmes and we're getting soccer tournament achievements made. I'm going to get someone to design them and attach them. That's
cool.
happening. That's happening right now. Jamie McComb designed me some achievement
badges,
medals, and I'll get Holmes to drop them on people's Will Design things. That would be spectacular. So even more reason to play. You get a little icon on a webpage. It's got to be worth it, people. It's got to be worth it.
Outstanding. Cool. So
I think we're done on soccer tournament at this point.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more news to come. And I think that ends our first section. Really, I think we've gone through all the tournaments.
We've got the top 80 thing, but maybe we'll come back after the break with that because we've sort of gone past break time. So yeah, we're going to go to a quick break, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Go grab yourself a drink, use whatever facilities you need to use. We'll come back and we've got one last topic, and then we're supposed to move into our call-ins. Now, our kind of special guest, if you call it that, our pre-arranged call-in hasn't actually shown up yet, so we could just move straight into community call-ins. GReaper, due to the fantastic AFK feature of the Mumble, we've all fallen out of the channel we're supposed to be in. So
sorry.
That's all right. So yeah, like I said, we're going to go away for just a few minutes, and grab yourself a drink, and we'll be back, and we'll do the next topic, and then we'll move into call-ins, whether that goes straight into community call-ins, or whether we'll start off with our other caller. We'll just wait and see. So don't go anywhere, guys. Behind the blue plate, we'll be right back.
Doc, can I ask you to leave the stream open so I can read the chat during the break? I want to read the story out for people. Okay, story time.
Yeah. Do you want me to leave the cam on, or do you want to just use the?
Yeah, go on. Leave the cam. I don't have any candles, otherwise let's see if I can make this place hell of a romantic. Let's do this. Leave the cam on. Get me full screen. Let's read a story. I'll get some candles, people. We'll make this romantic.
All right.
And we'll get a lovely little story about me and Stowaway.
So I can't turn the mics off for you, Jim Christ or GReaper.
Quite aggressive homoerotic love to one another. In the best of ways. My candles are all burnt out, guys. Sorry, I don't have enough wax. That's a really weird sentence to be saying. I can do this though, and get the lights slightly dimmed. I'm not on screen. I'd like to point this out at this stage. Which means finding out what a romantic level of lighting is quite tricky. Oh, there it is.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's slowly coming up and down. Is that okay?
That's maybe a little too much.
Is that? I can't see anything. I can just see black.
Yeah, well, there's a stream lag, dude.
Professional video casting, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happening right now. Is that sexy? Do I just move the light out the way, and then you don't actually have the brightness of that?
That's a good.
That's me, incidentally. That's my couch. Okay.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, quickly tripping. I don't know who's the author of this. We need to credit this. 9watts
posted it in the chat, but I believe it was from the Reddit thread. Let me go and make sure we get the correct.
Can we have some sexy guitar music in the background?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. Can you name a song?
No, I can't. Just generic, romantic. It's okay. Fleur de lis.
All right. I'll find something.
Fleur de lis. Fleur.
Okay, here we go. Where's the music?
Have we got it?
It's supposed to be playing, but there's no sound. Oh, here we go.
What's happening? I need.
Too much of anything is not good for your business. But
okay.
I don't know about that.
It's amazing. Quickly tripping like Fleur de Lis. Juzzo tripped along fast. He was on his way to meet his lover, Stowaway, for Valentine's Day. He smiled to see a cat hopping along, carrying a reward in its mouth. Juzzo was almost in Hogwarts when he came across a superstitious cake, lying alone on a big plate. That must be a treat for my homoerotic bear, he said to himself, and tripped over to it. The cake looked small, so he ate it. It gave him the most abstract tingling sensation in his ear. How unusual, he said, and continued tripping to see Stowaway. When Stowaway came out to meet him, he took one look and fell over. What is it? Juzzo cried downstairs. Your foot and your head, Stowaway said. They're sexy, can't you feel it? Juzzo felt his foot and his head. They were indeed quite sexy. Oh no, Juzzo said. I'm a woman. He, or rather she, started to cry. It must have been that superstitious cake you left for me. Did you know it would do that? I didn't leave any cake, Stowaway said. I got you a pair of skis. It must have been that immersive man who lives nearby. He acts a little eagerly ever since he grew a beard. But how can you ever love me now that I'm a woman, Juzzo sobbed. Well, I never knew how to tell you this, Stowaway said, accidentally, but I actually prefer women, and I think your waist is really narrow like that. Really? Juzzo dried her tears. Juzzo kissed Stowaway, and it was an entirely magical sensation, like a prawn cocktail sandwich filler. She's gonna his lips. They spent the night having entirely magical sex until the cake wore off. Suddenly, everything was rather awkward after that. That was Quickly Tripping by Fleur de Lis. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Let's get back to your regularly programmed Tribes Ascend behind the blue plate, please.
Yeah, we're going to a quick break because I need to use my facilities, especially after that one. Woo! All right, back in a couple minutes.
plate. Come on, grab your friends. We'll go and play some Tribes Ascend with Dark Matrix and Stowaway. It's gonna be great. It's behind the blue plate.
Hello there, Tribes fans. Welcome back. It's the second half of Behind the Blue Plate. It's going to be a smaller half.
The sexier part.
The sexier half.
What is that doing on stream?
It's funny.
It's not. This is not appropriate. We've ribbed Juzzo. We've done that. Stowaway's done more than that, apparently. Let's move on now. We
Wonderful.
don't need to discuss my genitalia in this game.
Moving right along. The next topic we've got is what, Juzzo?
Is what, Juzzo? No, it's not Juzzo. We did that during the break. Oh, I see. What, Juzzo? I see. The question is, where the frick is my tab? There it is. It's fine. I know what we're talking about. We're talking about the top 80 player rankings that were posted in a forum and on a Reddit and then in a website. It's pretty exciting stuff. These are the true rank, which is hours played, essentially, as the only count, of the top 80, what we're calling most dedicated, what others are calling saddest, and what still yet others are calling probably sexiest members of our community have been doing with their lives. And yeah, it's I've got to say, there were some names in there I wasn't expect to see. There were some names that I was expecting to see in different places, and yeah, it was an interesting thing for somebody to have compiled a list of. But in short, it is the true rank of all the top 80 players, in that it lists just the number of hours you have played, and that's all that matters. So, for example, Vex Wambulance comes top with a rank figured out to be 76. That is, if your rank continued to increase at the same rate that it does, he would be ranked 76 by now with 2,732.8 hours put into Tribes.
That's a lot of time, man.
That is a lot. Can we divide that by 24 and get days? That's 113 days. Can we divide that by 30 and get months? That's 3.8 months.
That's constant, sitting in front of the computer, click.
Yeah, 3.8 months of clicking. That is
But I mean, I find it interesting. Some of these names I've never heard of. So just I guess people that just play the game and really love the game and don't necessarily, get involved in the competitive communities. So, but I mean, there's also a much larger collection of players that names
it's
we've
strange,
grown to know and
actually.
love.
There were names that I saw on this list for the first time, and then very quickly noticed them around in games as well. So yeah, you're right. As in, certainly these people, if you go out looking for them, you can find them.
But I mean, look at the drop off from 2 to 3. It's 600 hours. It's quite a big gap.
I know. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It does clump more towards the bottom, where there's only a few hours in between them. Between Little and SoFab is only 16 hours or so. I say only 16 hours. Obviously, that's quite a lot of time. But you're right. The top 10 or so it's pretty disturbed. To be quite frank,
I think looking at this, there's clearly a gap here for high res to add an expansion pack to Tribes Ascend and increase the level cap. I think that's obviously
they'd have to
something
come up
these
with
people would be very keen on.
50 new icons. Can the icons get more impressive than the current level 51? You'd have to start adding. You'd have to get something above Obsidian.
Maybe they can just animate them, put some GIFs in above that.
That would, yes, yeah. Just rotate the level 51 faster and faster. So 51 is slowly rotating, and then 76 is just a blur of rotating level 50s.
There you go.
Sounds
well, I think I'm not sure who it was that summed all these up.
Dusty.
I think
I don't know who Dusty is, but it's good work.
Congratulations, Dusty. You've done us a fine service and definitely give us something to talk about. If you scroll down the page, I don't know if you did, but if you look at the graphs that are there as well, there's actually graphs of the base XP required to increase one rank and the total base XP required to reach certain ranks. Which is interesting. So you can see, 50 is where it cuts off. You can see that you can work out very easily how up to the 97th rank, you can see, or maybe it's 100 ranks that it does in total on that graph. You can see how much XP it would take just to go up that one level. It's quite insane. And as he says at the end of his post, the table is future-proof. I do not think anyone will reach a true rank of 150 anytime soon, given that requires that many hours to have been played. That I just posted in chat, which is a number. It's not one of the numbers I know. Let's put it that way. So it's a big number.
Either way, another cool use of the tribe stat system. Although he does credit WorldZone.org actually, not specifically the stats page. So he's actually sort of leveraging this on WorldZone. So it's sort of like another layer built on top of a layer, which it's cool, and it's just neat that that Holmes has put together such a cool product that people can even build on top of that, let alone the actual official stats page itself.
I think it's incredible, and it shows yet more of the power of the API. And actually, we've probably got two of the best guests to ask about API potential. So maybe we can use that as a little segue into this. Jim and GReaper, what are you guys' opinions of the API and its functionality, its uses, and how you're going to apply it? You guys specifically, if you've got anything upcoming for us.
It's a good start, but it needs a lot more data if possible. Currently,
what kind of data?
There's not much data regarding CTF games, like the scores and which player was on what team, which was what I used to use for stats on bloodeagle.org when that was around. It's just those sort of stats which I'd really like. It's a good start.
Jim, any use for this over in NATL?
I mean, they have some of the people developing the website. We have set up a page for each player that kind of pulls their information from the API. I'm not sure if it actually uses the API or just goes and gets the actual example HTML page they had and pulls it all out of that. But it gets it one way or the other.
I think it gets it from WorldZone.org. It sort of leverages off Holmes' work.
I don't know what they're using on any tribes. No clue. You'd have to ask them. But one of the things I would like to be able to is have a better way of getting stats about a specific game, so we can have matches on the site that have their stats associated with them. I think that would be cool. And maybe, if we can get stuff like that, there's tons of fun things you can do, like betting on stats and things like that, Instead of just being able to bet on the winner, maybe you can bet on, things like who's going to have the most kills and what it's going to be or something like that, But yeah, that's the one thing I would want, is just to be able to easily pull match information out, and and a way to identify it so you actually knew that the match you were getting is the one that was like an actual map of the match and not some random other match.
So you both talked about kind of what you'd like to see. Does that mean that currently you're unable to make what you'd like to be able to make because of these restrictions, or is that just something that you'd like to see improved on in the future, and for now you think you can do something with it, or are you simply not interested in it at all?
Personally, yeah, I'm just waiting around. I think Holmes has pretty much served the community well with WorldZone, so anything I was possibly considering doing has already been done.
Yeah, I got that feeling as well the first time I got my preview of the WorldZone. It was like, oh, okay, so you've done that then.
It's pretty awesome.
It is beyond incredible.
But I just hope they do spend a bit more time improving it.
Cool. Well, if any high-res employees are listening, these are the guys you want to please with your API, because these are the powerhouses of the tribes community. Site builders. So get in touch with Jim Christ, GReaper, Holmes and Grimble and those types of peeps, because these are the ones that are going to be making the difference. And if I'm sure if we can get more match-specific stats, more kind of a better breakdown of specific matches and things, then we'll see even more interesting and cool applications for it come out.
Yeah, I mean, just having things like what server it was played on, just simple little things which can really, really help collecting stats would help a lot.
Yeah, the biggest for me is something like identifying, saying like this match will enough information to search for matches that we can have it automated and not have to. Because I'm pretty sure with the features are there that someone could go in and for every match, tell it this is the ID or whatever they're using and then get the information. But it's just like it's too much work to do manually. So some way to go by like say these games will be played on this server, and then have it pull stats from the specific server the game's played, be able to search by that. That would be easy. That would make it allow us to make these.
It'd be good to do that stuff kind of more live as well. Like we could do a lot in the broadcasts if we had kind of like a live feed of stats. And Holmes is trying to fake it a little bit, but I don't think the stat system updates his stuff.
I was going to say the other thing that would be useful, and this is kind of more a plea on behalf of Holmes rather than everybody else, is it would be excellent if Hi-Res if we're not battering their servers too much as a group of developers, if they could continue to increase those limits as high as their servers can handle, because someone like Holmes needs as many requests as he can get. He's doing stuff, he's taking Delta points and stuff where he needs to be able to send multiple requests in, and it would be really cheeky of us as people with developer keys to just pool all our keys in to Holmes and say, here, you've got 10 people's worth of access. It makes much more sense for Hi-Res to just increase the number of requests we can have by 10. So that Holmes can use them. Now, like I say, I don't know the state of their servers. I don't know the server admins or anything like that. But I thought I'd mention it because certainly if Holmes can continually draw more and more information, he can keep building this fantastic resource. And as you can see from this fantastic resource, we can also pull out, other people like Dusty can get on with creating even more interesting things that we can analyze. So.
Well, just ask Ocean, you're in Singapore, about the state of Hi-Res servers. Ooh.
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 Ouch.
Ow. I kid. All right, well, that's pretty much it, I think, for general content. I feel like I've missed one thing. All right, so, so Taylor's around here somewhere. I think she said she'd be back shortly. So, should we move in? We can potentially move into some of the shots and stuff. Well,
we've had a fantastic response to the Blue Plate Challenge, but maybe we should save that for afterwards. How about Plays of the Week? Idea. Have we got any individual Plays of the Week?
I have a Fail of the Week.
Let's Fail of the Week, people. Come on, let's see this.
Let me dig that out. So this was submitted to me by Turbo Jelly, and he submitted the Fail of the Week. So I'll pipe this into you guys so you can hear it. And
excellent.
So I think this was an attempt of his to get onto the Mortar Blue Plate Challenge of the Week, and it quickly turned into a Fail of the Week. So let's.
Fantastic. Well, chat, rate this fail. Let's see how badly it does.
Off the Narc and Chen.
15.
Have fun with the heavies.
He gets 3 points for the new Daft Punk album.
That's excellent.
Great. Actually, no, this couldn't have been for the Mortar Challenge. He's in a path.
Wow, what the fuck?
No, my Calafangs, but I don't know this route because I'm gonna screw it up. Oh god.
Jen going down in 5.
He's out.
Just distract, just distract. Oh! Doesn't matter, Shaz. Was beautiful nonetheless. Did you just throw it?
Carry us slow. Oh wow. What? What the fuck happened?
There you go. That was this week's Fail of the Week. A very unfortunate.
How much of a failure was that, ladies and gentlemen? A man that throws a flag to himself, fails to catch it, and it gets returned. Eunice says 8 out of 10. Have we got any more fail rating systems that we can have and tell this person quite how poorly he did? Immune, I would love to see. That fail that you're claiming that you can get uploaded. High Voltage has managed to think of a higher number. He's gone for 9.4 out of 10. Others are giving it 7. It's getting high on the fail meter, I've got to say. I would have thought that this wouldn't get. Maybe that's just me. I wouldn't think that this would be too high because he's managed to just basically throw it and that's fucked it up. But people are saying this is scoring high. So
when he submitted, he said that one, his mic wasn't working, so he couldn't hear what he was saying, and he pressed the wrong button apparently.
Well, okay. That's
I don't know what he's
that's
trying to
slightly
do.
more. That's slightly more faily, I suppose. People are shouting out in chat that they didn't know we were running fails of the week and stuff. Yes,
We're
we
always
want your
running fails of
We
the
want
week.
your fantastic fails. We want your fantastic plays. We want footage. You know, if we could run from start to finish with just footage and chat over the top of it. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm only the co-host and I'm only here for 1 week, but I'm promising shit that's way above my pay grade. Let's do this. We just show images the whole time, and you guys would love it. You know, you're the stars of Tribes.
Exactly. Anything
that's
entertaining to the
I'm the
people.
star of Tribes, and you're just here to appreciate my glory. But you know, that's good. Yeah.
Outstanding.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. This
No.
is halfway through the JD. You see, at the end of the JD, I will be talking complete nonsense.
All right, I'm gonna change the screen for just a sec, and here we go. This could be some Inception sort of stuff going on, and just see if our guest is around. Hello. Not exactly sure what's going on right now.
Dark Matrix. This is why he has Grimble, ladies and gentlemen, because
Grimble doesn't do anything for Blue Plate.
Grimble does some magic, and Dark Matrix doesn't like fall apart live on
Exactly.
stream. Grimble's around.
Well, maybe if my co-host was supporting me.
I am the most supportive you could possibly imagine.
All right, look, I'm gonna stick the community call-ins thing up because if Taylor doesn't rock up, then it's just not gonna happen. Yeah, so community call-ins, guys, it's the same place as always. It's the EU Mumble. Join the Behind the Blue Plate challenge. Behind the Blue Plate channel, either in the AFK or the call-in reception, and we'll take your calls. I've got a bunch of codes to give away today. I've got a couple of gold codes, a couple of Biodome voice pack codes, and some other stuff, some 3A boosters. So you can got to be in it to win it. So yeah, get in that call-in channel, and we will take your calls. Alternatively, we can just move into the mortar challenge.
No. I think let's run the call-ins,
Right.
especially because this week we can give prizes as well for people that give us information. You know, the tour tournament. Let's have definite gold codes or your choice of prizes to whoever can actually fill us in on this kind of thing.
Okay, well, I see one in the channel already. So, panel, I'd like you to mute your Skype and unmute your Mumble, and we'll sort of switch gears here a little bit. There we go. Bring in our caller. Bring in Jim Christ. Turn on my Mumble voice to talk. Okay, there we go. So we're just missing Juzzo. Juzzo. Come on, Juzzo. Come on, Juzzo. I can't hear you until you're Mumble, Juzzo. Don't talk. Anyway, we've got Toby here. How you doing, Toby?
Well, I'm fine.
Awesome. Good to have you on the show. What can we do for you this evening?
What?
I said, what can we do for you for this evening? Do you have any questions or comments for the panel tonight?
Wow, not really. Just you told me to come here in the channel, I joined.
Well,
Just for fun.
generally call-ins are for people that want to say some stuff.
Exceptional. No, I just want to. Hi, Toby. How are you?
Well, I'm really fine, thanks. How
Have
are
you
you?
had a good day?
Yeah, it was an awesome day. Some pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, really funny.
Anything? Any special moments happen? You know, get any sick blue plates? Get any kind of accolades that you're proud of today?
Wow, blue blades are nothing special for me.
Oh,
nah.
big man on campus we got here, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up this gentleman because he needs a team right now.
Just kidding. Nah, nothing special today.
No? So why did you call in, other than to get closer to Dark Matrix and me, which, that's allowed.
I have no idea, just I looked the stream and you said, yeah, join a channel, and I was around and I joined.
Toby, can you say get to the chopper?
Chopper?
Yeah, get to the chopper.
No chopper, to the channel.
Yeah, I know, but can you get to...
Great. Let's move on.
All right.
Toby.
Thanks for calling in, Toby. We'll catch you next time.
I don't think you're gonna win a code for having opened Mumble.
Wow. Poor him.
I know it's unfortunate, but we welcome you to us. But
Okay, better luck next time,
is he out
Toby.
the channel yet?
He's
I don't
gone.
know what I'm doing. Okay, excellent. And by the way, the reason I wasn't here was because of GReaper's amazing and intelligent, AFK channel, which I got summarily moved to for being AFK while on this channel.
Sorry.
All right, so we're going to move on. I'm going to ask you actually to go back to Skype now because Taylor's ready. So let's try this.
All right, so we're going to move on. I'm going to ask you actually to go back to Skype now because Taylor's ready. So,
All right, so we're going to move on. I'm going to ask you actually to go back to Skype now because Taylor's ready. So let's try this. And this means that everyone gets to watch me redo all the cams again. So I'm going to bring her in. Hello, Taylor. Oh, she's just coming on now. Hopefully this works out.
Hello.
Hello, Taylor. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Now, Juzzo, I'm going to throw it immediately over to you because I've got to do all the regions. This will take half a minute.
Excellent. Well, I have no idea why you're even on the show. So, hi, Taylor. Nice to speak to you. I think we spoke briefly in chat on the Twitch stream. And I think you're here to give us a kind of overview of what Tribes is like for a new player, having come into the scene, a non-comp player. So tell us about yourself and tell us about your experience.
Well, Tribes is the first video game that I've ever gotten addicted to. And, well, like, I used to play Tekken, as a kid on PlayStation, but that's, like, it. And so, I started playing Tribes back in August. I met some kids on a cruise over the summer, and they, like, told me to play Team Fortress 2. I didn't really like that. And then they were like, oh, try Tribes, and I did. And I've been playing ever since. It's all I play. Really.
Fantastic. So what rank have you achieved at this point? I didn't see you on the top 80 players most played, so obviously you've not been no-lifing it quite hard enough. But
I'm only rank 26.
Well,
that's
higher than a lot of my co-hosts right now.
What I think is impressive is I started off playing with a trackpad. I didn't get a mouse until months into me playing Tribes, so I had no idea what I was doing, really. Nobody told me. It was my first, video game experience. Nobody told me you should buy a mouse.
Okay, well, you're here, and you're obviously watching Tribes Ascend. So talk us through the story of how you went from not knowing how to use a mouse in a video game through to being live on Tribes Ascend's #1 chat show. Because obviously that's a pretty big journey for somebody to take.
Within a month, too. I've only been watching the Tribes Ascend Twitch streams for about, a month now, but now I'm hooked on it. I'll be sitting in anatomy class in the back. Oh, Taylor, what are you doing on your laptop? Taking notes? But no, I'll be, trying to win a giveaway or something in, all my classes. I'm actually, really addicted. I've been hoarding, giveaway codes so I can give them away to people who, are starting off. Because I wish that I had, won gold a long time ago so I could have unlocked a class that I really, really liked. So I'm going to try to find some new players who I've been seeing in chat and give them the code so they can, grow to love Tribes the same way.
Hey, Hi-Rez, if you're listening, maybe think about free 500 gold or something to every new player. If that's what it would take to have gotten Taylor hooked earlier, then maybe that would work on others. So what is your favorite class, and what position do you play at the moment?
Raider class is my favorite. I've gotten pretty good with the grenade launcher. I can't mid-air with a fuser, but I can mid-air with a grenade launcher easier. I don't know. Most people find it the opposite way.
No, I'm the same. I find the arc of the bolt launcher a bit easier than the spin fuser, but I think that's because I use it all the time.
I can't get down to the bolt launcher at all. I stare at it and I just don't get it.
Well, it shoots bolts and they go in an arc. They blow stuff up.
I know, but I just can't. I stare at it. I've been practicing.
It launches bolts. Come on, Matrix. It doesn't shoot anything. It's not a bolt shooter. Let's be honest.
Fine, I've been corrected. So I'm curious though, Taylor, how did you find out about things like the Twitch channel and that kind of stuff? Because that's sort of we're always talking about how to get the guys that are just sort of pubbing into the more, competitive scene, if you want to call it that, or at least the pickup scene. How did you find out about Twitch, Mumble, all that stuff?
Reddit. I'm a huge Redditor. That's probably where I spend most of my time. So, yeah, definitely on Reddit. That's a good way. And also, I think having it announced in the actual pop-up when the loading screen for Tribes, when it first loads up, if it actually showed hey, check out these live streams, and that was a huge advertised thing, I would have clicked on that and been maybe if I watch these I'll get good,
And did you?
I've gotten
no, sorry, wait. I don't mean did you get good. I mean did you learn things from the streams?
I've definitely learned a lot. I've learned all the terminology, Hoff. Months ago I had no idea what a Hoff was, but within a month I've learned most of the positions for competitions and everything, and I bet Shaz books all the time now. So
exceptional. Well, that's brilliant. Why? I don't know what's going on with the chat at the moment. I'm just going to ignore that. It's highly inappropriate.
And another thing, I've been hearing from some new players who they love Tribes, but they don't put in tons of hours because they're low ranking. Is the way that the servers are divided. It goes from 1 through 8. For rank, and then it jumps from 8 up, and somebody's talking about if there were more categories, you know, like 1 through 8, 8 through 16, whatever, then you can learn at the pace, and you can sort of see what level like 16 people are doing when you're at level 18 and see, I mean, a level 8, and you can say, oh, they're doing that, so maybe I should try that and get better, and you can learn at a slower pace, I think, because the learning curve for tribes is pretty huge. If you get it down within the first couple months of you trying, then you're hooked, but if you don't get it down, then you give up, you know?
Do you think there's enough people on the servers to support like a higher, you know, gradient or more gradients in the server levels?
Well, to be honest, when I first saw the like organized servers, I was really confused as to how they were organized. But before, back when there weren't like servers that you could manage, I was always put into like the most full match, so I didn't really have to worry about if there were enough people. But now I think for a new person, it'd be easier if they knew how to work the server, you know, and go into the ones that have more people right away versus going into a really empty one and I'm thinking that's boring.
I hope APC's taking some notes, man.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of sitting, glancing at chat, seeing what we've got. Currently, APC's only comment is her name is not Jennifer, which doesn't relate, unfortunately, to the setting up of servers for our you know,
that's
for our
APC,
great game.
He's always wanted to date somebody named Jennifer, and I was like, hey, APC, let's just pretend my name's Jennifer. But I don't turn 18 till Saturday, so he was like, we have to wait till Saturday.
Are you not allowed to date 17-year-olds in America? Is that illegal?
Most.
I don't.
That's totally illegal.
Okay.
I thought you only had eyes for Mamacita anyway, Juzzo.
Hey, I have. Wait, what? My eyes are my own. Like they're not responsible for anything they do. Nor am I. I'm going back to drinking. Shush. You're a bad co-host.
Another thing that I've really been hearing from people is tribe shirts and merchandise.
Yeah.
Like. I have been hoping APC about it for a long time. I would get a Tribe's Diamond Sword keychain and phone charm and T-shirts. I would wear all the stuff. I'd be such a dork, but I don't care because I love.
Yeah, look at GReaper with his like Tribe's goodness, and we don't get any of this. APC, sell us cheap plastic crap made in China by children so that we can give you money. Do it now.
I would prefer to have a Tribes poster up here, but I've got this StarCraft one because they gave it to me. So
I have a gaping hole where Tribes should be written on my wall, and it's not because you don't sell wall decals. Come on, man. Like,
and I would love for the Tribes community to grow. Like, it's an amazing video game. It's one of the fastest first-person shooters, I think, and it's better than Call of Duty, Halo. It's so much better, but it has such a smaller audience. It's just unfair, you know, I think, to the Tribes community because they could do so much with it.
How have you found the community? You know, some of the comments that we've heard from other people is that it's actually quite difficult due to a lot of the negativity. Well, I think it's gotten better recently, but I want your opinion on what is the Tribes community like to you as someone coming relatively fresh into the game.
I think that it's amazing. You know, when I ask for, hey, how can I modify this in-game, people link me to it right away. And it's very supportive, I think. Maybe that's just me, because I was already addicted before I started going into the Reddit and into Mumble and into Twitch, so I think nothing could really like deter me at that point. So.
Well, how did you find jumping into the Mumble for the first time as well? And I don't know how to approach this topic without seeming rude, but obviously you're female, and there's a slight stigma still attached to that, even though it's 2013. Did you feel any kind of? Well, you can giggle, GReaper, but I'm a serious question.
No,
Wait. I want to address GReaper first because it's really hard to broach this subject in gaming communities, which is that girls get a lot of shtick attached to them. By joining communities. So how did you find that when you first joined kind of you know the talking side of it? Yeah, voice comms, where it's impossible to hide that. Or have you always been kind of extrovert and engaged with that?
Well, the first time I went into the Mumble, it was a day where people weren't really playing Pugs, but they were just all kind of like chilling in there, and I was trying to set it up, and I was having a little trouble, and I was like, hello, and they were like, oh my god, is that a girl? And then it's just dead silence for a while, and then somebody says, so where do you live?
Wow. Like, I mean, is that, are you okay with that? Do you find that disparaging? I mean, I find it really, there are a lot of articles written about, you know, how to treat girls in gaming, and I think it's important question to actually discuss. And yeah, I know.
Let her answer the
I know,
question,
you know,
Juzzo.
I said Tiro. Okay.
Okay, well, I think the big thing is I wasn't treated as like some extraterrestrial being, you know. They were just like, oh, she's a female. So what? Let her play games. You know, people have been so supportive. Like, maybe I think I got the positive side of being a girl, like in video games where, you know, people rush to help you to do things. So it's like, oh, the poor girl, whatever. Which is kind of annoying when people kind of like baby me because I'm new and because I'm a female. But nothing negative has come from it, from me being a girl in the community. So...
Cool. Well, I'm really glad to hear that, and I know like chat's going crazy with like how hilariously inappropriate the questions are and stuff. And yeah, I'm aware that obviously Little Mamacita's there and Isatiro's there, but it's people coming into the scene new, and especially you know female gamers can sometimes find it hard to broach online environments that are obviously very patriarchal in their layout. So I do think it's something that, you know, while people giggle at it, is actually a worthwhile conversation to have. If other people disagree, then I don't really care. I've got whiskey and weed, so fuck you.
Classic Juzzo.
Sorry, I've derailed this entirely. Anyway, back to your experience of tribes. Doc, ask a question.
Yeah, so I mean, you've mentioned, you know, the roles that you've worked through, and you've obviously playing for a while. You're starting to level up. Have you? I think you mentioned to me that you've started streaming. Is that the case? Yes.
Yep.
So I mean, you might as well pimp that Twitch stream out while you're here.
Yeah, I haven't streamed in like a week or two because I'm still like applying to colleges, doing 2 online courses and like a 3rd one. So it's really rough, but I try to find times because I love the tribes community.
Cool. So I mean, so you're streaming, which is obviously a quite a big step for. You know, being more involved and taking a game, what I'll say, more seriously. What about moving into things like pickup games, competitive community, joining a team? Sort of how far down the line are you with those things?
Actually, just yesterday, somebody asked me if I was playing on offense as a raider. They were like, hey, come practice with us. The team asked me. So I might be playing soon in some pugs, hopefully.
In pugs? Like, so you haven't played any pugs yet?
No, I'm a pansy. I'm sorry, but it's just so overwhelming, you know? I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it.
So that's worth exploring. What is about the pickup game concept that you find overwhelming?
I think because I feel like there's just so much more pressure because you actually have a role. Like, I know in tribes you're supposed to have a role, but in pubs, you know, it's just like people just messing around, like being really goofy, but in pugs you're actually like playing the game how it's supposed to be played, you know?
Yep.
So it's a little bit trickier, especially getting the timing down. I want to learn how to cap really well. I've been practicing. Helmar has helped me a lot with that. But it's a lot, you know, having to know the timing for that, having to sort of keep it all on track. And I have ADHD, so me playing in a pub would be really kind of confusing.
That does explain you like playing tribes instead of focusing on your studies, but
yeah, it does. But in games, I would probably get distracted and be like, "Hey, let me go try this over here," and I'd be like, "No, Taylor, that's not your role. Do this." So
do you think individuals have helped you gain that, or do you think it's more a kind of further understanding of the game? Obviously, you mentioned Helmar by name. He's been an influence on you. So do you feel that kind of it would be helpful if people had guiding lights to lead them through the first couple of pugs or so? Or do you just think it's a matter of needing to suck it up as an individual and really take the plunge and see where it goes?
I think it's a little bit both. I have enough experience, I think, with being able to, I should be able to just jump right into it. But for people who are maybe a lower rank, maybe they could have like tribes events, you know, like on Fridays or Thursdays or something, or on like a slower pug day where it's like they have really experienced team captains who walk them through it, and then it's like rank level like 15 through 20, and showing them the works of it, you know, and saying, hey, you're gonna do this, and walking them through it, and have like newbie pug days or something. That would really help.
Cool. I'm going to give the other guys an opportunity. GReaper, have you got any comments, thoughts, or questions for Taylor?
Nope, I'm afraid not.
That's fine. Jim?
Yeah, I have one, I guess. Do you think there would be a big enough interest in new players to come play pickups to make it worth their time to start doing New Bloods pickups again?
I definitely think so, because I see tons of people in chat always saying, "Oh, I wish I could do pugs, but I'm not good enough. What rank should I be?" Like people always ask Anarchy, "Oh, what rank should I be before I start playing pugs?" And people argue about it. They say, "Oh, you can go in as like a level 8. You can go in as level 15." So there's, people want to do it. I think.
Right. Well, probably look into setting some up then.
What about draft tournament? Do you know what that is, Taylor?
Let's say yes, maybe.
So basically, where you bring everybody onto the Mumble, you pick teams, and you have like a tournament right there and then on the weekend. So it's kind of like an elongated pug rather. So rather than just being a 3-map affair, you form a team and you play a tournament over a weekend. Is that more or less intimidating for you?
See, the less formal, I think the less intimidating. So that would probably be a little bit easier, because draft picking, you're not like stuck with a team really, and you just kind of go in rotation. I think that would be less overwhelming for new people.
Okay. What about best of 1 pickup games? Because I don't know if it's different over in NA, but in EU, when you sign up for a pickup, you're there for a best of 3 most of the time, unless the teams are completely imbalanced. Is that the way it works over in NA?
We do 2 maps usually. Unless they change things, it's just 2 maps.
Okay. Fair.
They don't play a third.
So if it's a draw, it's just a draw.
Yeah, it's just a draw. That way, we would try to get all the games to end around the same time, so we can pick other ones quickly.
Okay. Taylor, does that have any impact on your ability or interest in playing a pickup?
Yeah, I would definitely play those if it was just like a 1-on-1, because I know a lot of the Tribes community is kind of young, they're always freaking out over studying and getting stuff done. So I think if it's less of a commitment, which is always fun and easier, I guess.
Okay. What about other game modes? Is it CTF that you play exclusively, or do you play Arena, any of that stuff?
Okay, I really wish that Capture and Hold had more people in it, because I love that mode so much. I know some people hate it, but I love it.
That's interesting. I wonder...
That is interesting. I haven't heard somebody mention CNH for ages. It's literally dead in EU. I don't think we have more than 10 people playing it.
It's dead here too.
Okay. There used to be a couple of servers, maybe 6-8 months ago. We had a couple of servers that would still play it, but these days, sadly, it's a game mode that's just fallen out of favor with the general community. I wanted to do something with a sucker tournament, but I can't have prizes unless people start donating kind of hundreds of pounds to win as prize money. Can't justify giving someone 10 quid between a 7-man team. It's interesting to see what chat's saying about Capture and Hold actually as this comes up, as we got people saying Capture and Hold isn't Tribes, other people saying Capture and Hold is alive and well but only in Beer Mania. Shadoom's contributed saying that Capture and Hold is a fail game type in the original Tribes and it never really caught on here because of that. Would you guys not say that because we had Capture and Hold servers when the game started and they were populated by people, perhaps the same people that these days grab the flag, run into a gen and throw fractals everywhere, not naming any names, but did you guys not regard that as a viable game type? And if it's no longer a viable game type, should it be removed essentially? Should it simply not exist? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
New maps. In Tribes 1 there was a fairly unique set of maps for Capture and Hold, and that's something they didn't really do for Tribes Ascend. I think there's maps like Tunnel Rats in Tribes 1. I can't remember the names of them, but pretty decent structures on them. Okay,
Tunnel Rats, that would be a wholly internal long corridor map, essentially, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
If I've got the name right.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it should be.
I think another thing that would help new people is sort of having a description on the game types. Like I think Arena has really helped me learn how to work a fuser pretty much and get blue plates. And then Rabbit helps me manage me going fast as well as trying not to die, which would be good for cappers, So I think if people knew what the different game types were good for, like training for when you're trying to level up, then that would certainly help.
That's actually, I've never really I never really considered that, but that's actually quite true. That rabbit for kappa training and simply carrying the flag and not dying training and just punting it across to your next teammate is a valuable tool. TDM certainly for awareness. I know a lot of people disparage TDM as a kind of horrible cluster swear word, but I spend most of my time in there because I think it's fantastic. Prince Dauntless joining the conversation saying Rabbit is the only game type. What is this CTF? Which is an exceptional comment, sir.
And depending on what role you want to play in pugs, certain game types will be more helpful to you, I think. And if people were aware of that, then they could focus in on one game type and then go into capture the flag, pugs as whatever role they want.
Mm-hmm. So going back to the newbie tournaments, Jim Christ, New Bloods in NA starting tomorrow. Yes, definitely going to happen.
I don't know about starting tomorrow, but we can probably set something up. There's usually as long as there's people interested in running it, we'll do it. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So really, the key point is to find the upstanding citizens of the current tribes community that would be willing in NA to do that. I know, for example, 9Watts over in EU has really taken that mantle and has made us all proud of him. So if there's Americans out there thinking, hey, I want to give something and I want to make new friends and help people make new friends in tribes, then step forward, get in touch with whoever you need to get in touch with on the NA Mumble to make this happen, because it would be fantastic.
Awesome. Juzzo, any more questions at the moment?
No, I've been winging it since day one, so.
I kind of have a general kind of topic thing. What do you think? Do you think there's going to be another tribes, like Tribes Ascend, Tribes Apex, new tribes?
Tribes Apex? Where did you get that name from?
Well, it's the top of the Ascent, right?
You have to do Ascend, Apex, and then Tribes Descend, where it's just craziness or something.
Doesn't that mean it's only downhill from there, though, if you reach the Apex?
Tribes have to burn.
You'd have to GReaper just sighs with disbelief at the joke. That unbelievable, man, unbelievable. You may be backing me up here.
There'll definitely be a sequel. Hi-Rez didn't buy the IP of Tribes to make one game.
I'm certain that Tribes Ascend has made Hi-Rez money, and that they will want to make more money out of the franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm super excited.
It's that simple.
It won't be for a while. They've got obviously Smite. I think Smite's officially released. I don't know.
Not quite.
Okay, so they've still got that technically in beta then. They've got Global Agenda 2 announced, nothing really released for that yet. And so, I think, they've got 2 full games to burn through before, we start seeing, Tribes Ascend 2, the final Apex or whatever they choose to call it. It'll definitely happen, but I think it's a few years down the line.
Are you reading the chat? Tribes Burnout, Tribes Underground, Tribes...
Tribes Trees. No, high voltage wins at Tribes Trees. It's the most amazing concept ever. I'm out for the rest of the evening. I can't do anything.
You're done?
Tribes Trees is exceptional.
Tribes Mania. I don't mind that one, actually.
Oh, Tribes Apex just sounds so amazing, though. That's a perfect name.
Yeah.
We've lost Juzzo. Totally killed it. I definitely think we'll see another one. It'll be interesting to see how many of the lessons that they've clearly been exposed to during the lifespan of Tribes Ascend to date, and of course there are other titles. How much will they learn from that? And how much will they be able to implement in the next title? What we need to hope for is that Smite is an even bigger success than it is now. Global Agenda 2 is a huge success, because that will give them this big fat bankroll of money where they can put all of the development effort into Tribes Ascend 2 that potentially they weren't able to put into Tribes Ascend just due to financial reasons, right? So the more successful Hi-Rez Studios gets as a company, the more money they'll have, and the more money they'll be able to throw at future sequels. So that's my take on it.
I think that's true. I think just as long as they stay away from the current trend in, especially indie, but those kind of semi-big games, not AAA titles, but ones that are making significant money. They stay away from putting MMO in the name just for the sake of having MMO on it. which
I
is
think
something that
MMOs are dying
a lot
off,
of games companies. No. I don't mean MMORPGs. I mean just the phrase MMO, which is something that a lot of games companies have started attaching to their games simply because they're online and they have a lot of players. That's a ridiculously cheeky way of using the phrase MMO, and I hope it stops. I don't think Hi-Rez should be guilty of that, but there are a lot of other companies out there right now that are guilty of it, and it pisses me off. Has anyone got any roach, incidentally?
Pardon? Oh, God. Just go cut up some paper or something.
Oh, I have green. No worries. It's fine. Continue.
We're on the official chat. The official stream here, so I'm sure Hi-Rez doesn't condone.
They love it. They love it. Todd Harris is like right now kicking back in the Bahamas, sipping on some JD, rolling himself a bifter. Like, let's do this. Let's listen to Juzzo talk about Hi-Rez because he censors his own swear words, and I respect that. That's
right.
what's going through Todd Harris's mind right now.
I have no idea how I'm going to recover this one.
Good luck.
Thanks,
He's invited me. This is what you get.
Outstanding. I mean, yeah, Taylor. So we've been through a bunch of stuff, and to be honest, I've lost track of all the points we've covered. Are there any other things you wanted to sort of bring up while we've got you here?
Oh, goodness. See, in my head, I prepared so much stuff to say, but now, can I sort of chime in later? Let me think on it a bit.
All right. Well, how about this? And I'm going to take a risk here. But would you like to hang around for the rest of the call-ins as well?
All right.
All right. So I need you to get onto Mumble. So, I mean, you can probably see it on the
Okay.
stream. I need you to get onto that and join the Behind the Blue Plate channel. And then we'll bring you into the on-air. We can do the muting of Skype and all that kind of stuff. You clearly know how to use Mumble.
The muting of Skype.
Exactly. And then, we can get on with some of the call-ins and then move into the Mortar challenge that we got.
Woohoo! Which
So
we've had a fantastic response
I don't
to.
see it. I can't.
It's dash behind the blue plate on Mumble. I'm not sure why the dash is there. I think it's historical reasons. Can I rename this maybe? Edit.
Why can't I
There we
find
go.
it?
The dash is gone. So it's underneath Casting Cave. There is a lot of
Oh.
junk in the Mumble at the moment. I blame GReaper for that.
Okay.
Sorry, GReaper, you're muted.
I'll get to it one day.
Okay. So so we're going to move into general community call-ins, and then move on to the Mortar kills challenge and all that good stuff. So just wait. So if you want to call in, you need to move into call-in reception.
We've had one call in so far tonight. It was superb. Let's see if we can keep that trend going, people.
And
we want call-ins of at least that quality or higher.
There are a lot of people wanting to call in tonight, so trolls will be treated harshly.
Yes, I think that's
because otherwise we just won't get through everyone. So, I do have codes. So I need maybe Juzzo, you to judge whether or not codes shall be issued.
Oh, okay, I'll try. But okay, in that case, people ask sensible questions, please. Let's not have any dossing about, and I shall award rewards for those who deserve rewards.
Cool. There was another thing I had to say. That thing was Juzzo, that you're not in the actual Mumble channel at the moment.
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I'm
you
in
are.
the on-air channel. What are you talking about?
There's someone missing. Oh no, there's not. It's because we only have 4 people.
We're waiting for Taylor to come on.
You have much luck there, Taylor.
I'm on, but it's denying me privileges.
Just join AFK or call in reception, then I can bring you
Move to the call-in reception, and Dot Matrix will move you.
All right, I'm in.
Knudsen, I am going to I-49. Yes, I can confirm. Right, okay, so everyone on Skype, mute their Skype. And then we can get on. Now, I know, I think Nitro was there for a while. There we go, bring in Nitro Dust. How you doing, Nitro Dust?
Oh, I'm fine. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Nitro.
Yeah, I'm also kind of a noob. The first thing I saw when I found the playpark.com website, I saw it by accident in the scroll text. But I never look at the scroll text. I just thought it was
What do you mean by
this
scroll
website.
text? What are you talking about?
You don't even know it. It's in the game. It's at the very bottom of the game.
Oh,
You
the
see,
ticker,
like
right.
This little ticker. Nobody ever watches that. So I would put play Pug in the big load at the beginning, where everybody sees it, and you just wait until you click on play. and have a big link there because I don't think the ticker gets any attention at all.
I'll throw another question back at you then, Nitro. How valuable to you in the Tribes game on that main menu is the little spinning animation of the guy shooting the diamond sword guy? Do you like that?
Wait,
do we have to talk about this? Because I'm going to get angry if we talk about this.
Just saying,
like...
do you think maybe that piece of real estate right next to the menu might be able to be used better?
Yeah, I started playing when they still wanted to sell you stuff on that place, but now I don't know. I didn't give a crap.
Right.
I would put like big links about important stuff, Willow Zone, whatever. I don't know.
That sounds like a great idea, Nitro.
Yes!
Well done.
Great, isn't it?
I think that deserves a prize right there, but, only because I've been saying it for the last freaking year. No, I 100% agree with you. I think there are far better things they could be doing with that little graphic than trying to advertise you things that you can buy with in-game currency. They should be talking about the community. They should be having events. They should be having YouTube videos. They should be making the most of the fact that everybody in the game sees that space for at least 10 seconds. I mean, that's such a huge number of people seeing something for such a huge period of time. There is no justification to have it spent trying to sell you something that you already have, like a scent skin or something. It's such a... Yeah, I get pretty angry about this. It's such a waste of space
anymore, I think. I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't seen any deals on that for a while. I mean, Taylor, is that something, would you take notice of stuff that's on that place?
Sorry, my sound is really acting up right now. I'm trying to fix it. I might have to click out of Skype.
Okay.
Yeah, if you quit Skype, yep, quit
That's
that
fine.
thing, and then you should be fine on just Mumble.
I mean, they already have Twitch in their client. So you could like have a little button, little window of their official stream. You click on play, and then you can watch whatever shoot people. That might help, or links.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% in agreement with you here. In fact, I posted quite a long rant on Reddit the other day. Which involved...
Whoa, GReaper, I don't know what you've done, but something crazy's happened.
What?
You're feeding back. There we go. You're dead now. Which touched on this point, and it is simply that space could be much more profitable than used to increase profits. And I know that sounds strange, but you use it to feed back into the community, and the community will pay you back 100-fold.
Yeah, especially because right now it doesn't generate any profits at all. I mean, there's no more buy button in it at all. Also, I'm gonna bitch about the auto AFK. I have no idea why it does that, but why?
This is you being kicked from the game after a period of inactivity. Is that
No,
what you're
not
talking
that
about?
one.
No, he's talking about the Mumble.
It's kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Come on. Let's keep it on Tribes. This is that's the
So
stuff. We got
was
100 call-ins.
Exactly.
To
that
deal
was a good call in Nitro.
So
I've got gold, a biodim voice pack, or a 3A booster. Do you want any of that stuff?
Gold. I got all the rest already.
Okay, pass down to Nitro Dust. Check your Mumble chat for that code. Where is it? Send message. Boom.
Yeah, more exposure to playpack.com would be great.
Cool.
Any Tribes will his own stuff like that.
All right, cool. Thanks for calling in, Nitro. We got to keep moving, mate.
Yeah, enjoy it. Bye.
Now you have to be in the call and reception. If you're an AFK, I'm not even going to look at you. So this is risky, but I'm going to bring him in anyway. How you doing, Void Spawn? Oh, he's muted. Void, how you doing?
I'm doing good, I suppose.
That's
yes,
awesome.
Indeed.
What do you have for us tonight?
Well, I'm back from the dead, kind of. Not yet, anyway. I was wondering, just a small question really, when's the next draft tournament, GReaper?
I think we're hoping to do one in the next 2 weeks or so.
Oh well, bollocks. I'm not going to make that one either. Anyway. Hope there's one in the summer.
We'll probably organise somewhere after that. Which is one of the reasons we're trying to leave the weekends through.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in, Voice Spawn. Yozid, does that deserve a code?
No, I don't.
He says no. So
Okay.
I say no.
Well,
I mean, wow, you just disavowed yourself of your own code, bruh. Like, that's not. Don't swear at me.
Just give me the fucking code.
Yeah, okay, you can have the code. Don't beat me up, please.
No, well, you'll have to try again, Void Spawn. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, man.
There he goes.
Next.
Fleur de Lis was there for quite a while, so we'll bring
Line
in
him up.
Fleur. How you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Cool. What's going on, mate?
I've been doing fanfics.
Fanfics. Oh, that's right. You wrote the fanfic for Juzzo. You deserve a code just for that. But
thanks for that.
You're quite quiet, Juzzo. If you could bring up your mumble somehow.
I have brought it up.
That's better.
37 times.
Okay.
That should be
Oh,
fine.
I missed out on the whole fanfic thing. Is there a link to that I can read?
I recommend that, Taylor, once this is over, go back and watch through the VOD, find where the break happens, and Juzzo will read it to you.
You
with
really don't
Barry
have
White
to do
playing in the
that.
background.
It is basically a slash fic between a romance between Juzzo and Stowaway.
That is amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
It amazed
amazing.
everyone.
I was amazed, and I was reading it. So yeah, it's
You read it out loud too?
Yeah,
he
did.
like turned his
Wow.
lights off, tried to get some candles going. It was beautiful.
I didn't get the candles going, sadly. I have no tea lights. I found that out the other day. They're called
Perfect
Glimmer
timing,
in
'cause my
Swedish,
birthday's
which is
on
like a much
Saturday.
prettier name.
I intentionally intend to call in and read it in here, but since since 9watts I think posted into the Twitch chat, it sort of blew up, and Juzzo decided to read it during the pause. So
And he did a great job, I have to admit. So
yeah, better than I would ever do.
Well, I appreciate that. It was a wonderful piece of writing, for which we're all very proud of you. But you're definitely not going to get any kind of reward for it, like as if I give you a reward for telling me that I turned into a lady and made love to Stowaway. That's disturbing.
Don't
else.
spoil it. Stowaway haven't
Oh,
read it then.
don't spoil it. Sorry.
Stowaway hasn't read it yet, I think.
Jim, it looks like you had a. Well, actually, we'll get to that. But Fleur, did you have any questions or anything for the chat?
No, not really.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask Juzzo if he liked the fanfic, and I'll happily do more Tribes content.
Well, it was an interesting thing to do during a break. I wouldn't say that I liked it, but I'm not a very nice person, so I guess that's my opinion.
Well, you definitely get a code for the fanfic, Fleur. So I have a gold code left, a buy it in voice pack, or a 3-day booster.
I've actually got something as well to help add in. I've got a Sentinel skin that I can add to that giveaway pack, Doc. So we can sustain more call-ins if people want to call in.
There you
Keep calling
go.
in.
What would you like, Fleur?
I'd rather take the gold, please.
The gold. That's the last gold code. Fleur de Lis.
Hey Doc, I have another gold code if you need it.
Well, if you want to throw it out to people,
definitely.
you're more than welcome. All right, cool. Well, I'll let you decide whom you want to give that to, Taylor.
Oh my god, can we bring Stowy in?
We'll get to him. It's going to be a surprise.
Before that, I think we should ask Jim Christ why he's highlighted this question, and if he thinks it's got value.
Thanks, Fleur. We'll let you go.
Well, I was passing it along to make sure that it didn't get forgotten because
Would you mind reading it out?
I'll answer the question
because I can't actually have that up on my screen with this cams on.
Okay, I'll read it out. So demo evolved as if Hi-Rez added a feature for server ops that allowed admins to modify bullet-based damage by a multiplier. Example, 0.5 times would be half damage. Would we see comp experimenting with across-the-board reduction in pew-pew for comp events? What % would you try first? And then he lists some examples.
So basically, to summarize, he's asking if Hi-Rez allowed us to be able to change the damage output on chain weapons globally, is that something we would play with? I mean, Jim, you're the tawny guy. Is that something you'd investigate?
And it might be worth a try. I don't really know if anyone really thinks they're overpowered. I mean, a lot of the maybe arena community and some other people think that chain weapons are overpowered. I personally am of the opinion that chain weapons take a lot of skill to use, so perhaps they're not all that overpowered when you consider that they're only really effective if you're good with them. If you're not good at a chain weapon, you're not going to be able to do much damage with it. It might be worth, I personally think it would be nice to have access to a ton of settings to be able to modify, not necessarily just chain weapons, but it would all be just about experimenting with what the community wants. I don't think they would change chain that much, though.
So I'm going to try this new technology that I figured out today. We're going to try a vote in the chat. So if you want to vote, you got to type in !vote and either space 1 or space 2, depending on which option you would go for. Let's see what the chat thinks.
I think that's exceptional use of Twitch technology.
Wait, what are the two options?
Yes or no?
Yes, you would be interested in changing, or no, you have no interest in changing. Just leave them all as what high res settings.
GReaper, what do you reckon?
Reduction in chain damage. Don't really think it's an issue.
Okay.
The only thing I'm not particularly keen on with assault rifles is just the fact that they start firing instantly, whereas compared to previous Tribes games, there was a small delay before it started. That's the only thing that really bothers me, if anything.
Well, chat has spoken.
Sorry, Doc. Taylor, as a new player, what about you? Do you find chains infuriating, or would you like to see the damage reduced on?
I can understand how people can get frustrated with it, but me personally, I don't really find it a huge deal. You know, they're chain guns for a reason. You're supposed to be able to finish somebody off with them, so it's not really a big deal. They do their purpose and not too much more.
Cool. Well, chat voted 31-7 against that, so I think that's a fairly clear answer to demo evolved. That's probably not something that people are really dying for.
Still, good question though. Well brought up. Something that's certainly worth us looking at, because it's something that a lot of conversation has been going on, and I'd say about 20% of tribes love honor only. Essentially, is about the right number of players that would prefer to see an honor only kind of game.
Well, let's keep moving with the call-ins, otherwise we just will not get through them. I know Helamar's been sitting there for a while, so we'll bring in Helamar, a bit of a stalwart of the show. How are you doing tonight, mate?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you, gents? I've been watching off and on today, so I didn't catch the whole thing, but I did catch Juzzo reading that lovely bit of poetry. How are you doing, Juzzo?
Hi, I'm fine. You have a very lovely voice.
Hey, Helamar.
Hey, Taylor. I did not know you were going to be on here today, so that was an interesting surprise.
I've been telling you all week, but okay.
Actually, no, this is the first time you've been saying that you're going to be on here, but I never actually...
could you stop flirting on my show, please? Thank you.
Yes, sure. Underage, we're not.
Okay. Yeah, we're not flirting, and you flirted with Mamacita, like... You flirted with Mamacita for, like, the entire show the last time you two were on here, so you can't really talk about this.
I am not responsible for my actions.
I was flirting with her last night. She kind of, like, I don't think I got rejected.
No,
but, I mean...
let's move on. You're going to distract
Helamar, what have you got for the panel,
from Tribes?
What I've got is, actually, this is something that I'm not sure if Reaper saw it, but if you guys do manage to get your matches scheduled during the week rather than on the weekend for EUTL, I'll do my best to cast at least one of those games in addition to the one that I'll be casting for NATL if I'm around. So
yeah, that would be amazing. Actually, that's something we really struggle with over here, because basically there's the Grimble crew, which is Grimble, myself, and Stowe, and unfortunately there's just not that many other people that have the time or capability to stream. So anything you could help with there, Helamar, would be amazing.
Yeah. So GReaper, if that's if you don't have enough motivation to do that already, then there's one more nudge for you to look into it. You'll get another potential caster for the matches. So I have that, and I also have something that I want Juzzo to read aloud, if you wouldn't mind, please. Juzzo?
What's up?
Okay, I'm sending it to you in Mumble. Just read that real quick, please.
You should start charging for voice acting, Juzzo.
Yes, you should, but this is going to be great.
Okay.
Just trust me.
Right. Okay, I'm not supposed to pause this first. I'm just meant to read it. Okay. I see co-host. Co-host actually potato. Juzzo hallucinate due to malnourish. Juzzo die. And we broke Taylor.
Inside joke going on.
That's how that works. I don't know what I just did. Holy
wow.
crap!
Oh dear.
I'm eating an Oreo. You just made me choke. Oh god.
It didn't sound like you were joking. I'm not gonna lie.
Juzzo, harmful for your health.
That was interesting. I don't get it, but good.
I hate you so much.
Halima, did that code I gave you the other day work? You keep asking me about it. Good.
Yes, it did. Finally. That was good. Yeah, it only took 2 weeks. That was great.
Exactly.
But thank you, Doc. I do appreciate that. But no, and I do hope to see New Bloods, Pugs. This show. When Taylor got on, it went off in an interesting direction with the perspective from the new players and everything like that, and it was kind of a breath of fresh air to see that on the show, to get a different perspective, because normally the people we have on here are the professional players, the casters, the people that are really well acquainted with the game, and it's good to see the other side of it actually get exposed from a different angle rather than just the forums or Reddit or in the pubs, where it's just basically people being angry and things like that. So yeah, I mean, like what you guys brought up with the New Bloods Pugs, that would actually be really nice to see again. I know it's kind of fallen out of favor in recent times just because there hasn't been enough interest, but hopefully once season 2 of NATL starts gearing up again and we actually have got the casts going, we've got more people showing up and everything, we can probably get something like that going, maybe like in concurrency with the relegation matches or something of that nature.
Yeah, we'd love to see more of that New Blood stuff. It's just a matter of people showing up for it. At the end of the day, that's what we need. Cool. Thanks for calling in, Halima. We've got to keep moving, otherwise we just won't get through the rest of the content. So yeah,
we still have 4 or 5 call-ins to go.
Exactly.
So yeah, let's move.
Black Widow's next, and then probably Qualm.
Something like that. Cool. All right. Thanks very much, Halima.
Right.
We'll see you soon.
Right.
Bye. Okay, we'll go with Black Widow. How you doing tonight, Black Widow?
Fine.
Awesome. What's going on? What's up for the panel?
I'd just like to ask a question to Jim about the next NATL tournament, and it's that Bowie talked about a captain's vote about the map pool. Yet it's been a couple of weeks, and apparently that just hasn't come up yet. Is there any time frame on that?
Well, we had a vote originally, and then some people had suggested Stonehenge, and I had gone back to the captains and said, we didn't vote on Stonehenge originally. Are you interested in it now? And they were, so we've decided to do another vote, which will be down the road after we kind of test out rules of it.
So it's going to be tested out?
Originally, our plan was to figure out the map and then test the rules on that map to make sure, it didn't become too too defense-oriented. So because we were considering Crossfire and Sunstar, we wanted to make sure that, it wasn't too defense-heavy. But because we had to delay the map vote, decided to just, have them test them both at the same time. And so we are doing that now. The map vote will happen with the rule vote on Friday. So that's your date if you're looking for it.
Friday is the day when things happen. Cool, thank you. Nice, quick, succinct question. Thank you, Black Widow. That was beautiful. Are we prizing for this? I think we have enough prizes to give away to everyone remaining that asked a Tribes-related question. So
Black Widow, do you want a Biden voice pack 3-day booster or Sentinel skin?
I'll go with a 3-day boost.
3-day booster for Black Widow.
Congrats! Thanks for calling in, man.
I'll send it through Mumble chat.
Next, let's keep going nice and fast.
Okay, bring in Quam.
Let's have
Quam. We have another GReaper.
Hey, speaking about defensive-oriented maps and just rules on maps, whether or not they can be destacked well, we were talking about Permafrost and how it was a defensive map and how, I guess, one of the new Euro tourneys wants to ban it. Is that right, Reaper?
Yes, it is out.
Okay, most of the, just to give you a US perspective, most of the Permafrost maps I've played with the US rule set, while it seems like it'd be a pretty defensible map, it's not pretty easy. It's not very easy to spot cappers. It's very hard to snipe on the map. Chasing is different. The hills are not as easy to chase on. I won't say that offense is easy, but it's really a tough defensive map, and I found that even though the games aren't necessarily high scoring, that's typically because of offensive plays as opposed to defensive plays. I just wanted to toss my opinion into the hat for that.
That's it. I mean, okay, so you're giving your opinion, but you haven't told us whether you think that's a good or a bad thing. So,
I think it's a fun map. I think it's a great map to play. I've enjoyed it a lot. I think the concern that was given on the stream was that it was really defensible. and I don't think that's exactly right.
Try that over to Jim and GReaper then. You guys are the tourney admins. What do you think of this?
I think it's also just that teams aren't playing it much. I know that's a bit of a crappy excuse, but if teams aren't playing on it, then they're not going to get enough practice to produce a quality match, which is kind of what you want in a decent competition.
So the reason we don't play the map is because we don't play the map?
I think Lumberjack also said in chat, and it's a valid point. He said it's not a case of wanting to ban permafrost. It's we want less maps. These are the worst three, and it's definitely a valid point. I think I believe the reason they want less maps, is because it's less maps to practice. But I do think that that as long as the teams know ahead of time what maps are going to be playing, then that's not necessarily as much of an issue, in my opinion.
I think the other issue was the Season 1 rule set, which was possibly a little bit too easy to defend on, which has possibly helped towards the hatred of it.
Wow, okay. It felt
Yeah, breaking up quite badly, Juzzo.
I've realised that. I'm not quite sure why. It's probably just because I'm talking to a piece of plastic. I think that should.
Oh dear.
It was just to say that I forgot. It's okay. Let's move along. These last 20 seconds didn't happen. We'll cut this out in the post edit, right?
So, what do you think about the responses, Quam?
I mean, I didn't realize that the reason we didn't want to permafrost in was because you're just trying to limit the map pool. I thought we were just looking for reasons to hit on maps, kind of like we do with Blue Shift, because Blue Shift doesn't really produce very fun games, and I can see why we would ban that. But I disagree with that for permafrost. But I would agree that lots of maps are better than permafrost, and so if you're just trying to limit the map pool, that's fine.
Blue Shift is out because of bugs. That's one reason.
Yeah, that too, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Lumberjack says as well, there also is an issue with only 8 maps on a server at a time, so it is kind of irritating to have to go swap them in and out.
Yes, that's the one huge advantage of having 7.
Cool.
Cool. Well, I think that covers that. Anything else explicitly that you need to ask? Don't make this obviously desperate to ask something, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah, one sec. I just wanted to Taylor, like, as a a non-comp player, like, what's your opinion on permafrost as a map?
I am usually so positive about the traps community, but I can't really stand permafrost.
There you go. Why? Like, what don't you like about it?
The rest of the maps, just looking at them, you can go, wow, this is an amazing map for, a video game. But permafrost, it just isn't that, appealing, I think. And, I haven't learned any routes on it yet, so I don't have the opinion of a capper, this has bad routes, or it's, really easy interceptable routes, so I don't have an opinion on that. But just by looks, I don't really like it, and, I'm not a fan of permafrost.
Well, there you go. So I think you're a bit outvoted there, Quam. I'm sorry.
I guess so. Alright, I'm good. Have a good one, guys.
How about a Biden voice pack for your
keep fighting the fight. Or you've got a set skin as well.
I pass on both, but thank you, I appreciate
it. No worries, Quam. Take care.
You too, guys.
Alright, we have one final call in, and it's none other than Stowaway. How you doing, Stow? How'd the game go?
Hi guys, thanks for bringing me in. I mean, I'm a long-term listener, first-time caller.
It's true, it is your first-time call.
I'm gonna leave now, right? Okay, you take back your seat, and I'm sorry. The sword of fucking Damocles has been over my head this entire time. So yeah,
Dude, thanks for jumping in. I do want to say, sorry to anyone who gives a damn that I wasn't here. A match was scheduled that I couldn't move.
Did you win?
I do.
Did you win at least?
I care.
We won one map on permafrost, which was terrible because permafrost. Speaking of what you
very appropriate.
Just had. Yeah. But the other 2 maps we did not play to our best, and we lost them.
Did One Up run their no sniper strat again?
No, they didn't. They actually had Croth sniping for them tonight.
Okay.
I believe he's a recent addition. But yeah, I do want to say thanks to Juzzo for jumping in for me, because it looks like he's done an awesome job, and I'm going to watch the replay later.
Yeah, you might want to watch it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You definitely need to watch the mid part.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Did you win?
No, we lost.
I'm disappointed in you.
I'm really disappointed.
I was going to say, you might as well have just come on the show.
I might as well have just come up,
Yeah.
man. This show's good, man. You guys should make this weekly.
We try, Sto. We try.
Yeah. I don't have a question for the panel. I'm really sorry, but I do have something I want to talk about.
Okay.
If that's cool. Is that against the rules? Or?
It's not against the rules. Depends how long it's going to take.
I just want to... I mean, you already know about it, Doug, but I just want to reaffirm that all tribe players listening who currently live in Europe, or England especially, there is a LAN happening in the summer, in the last weekend of August, I think, the bank holiday in August.
23rd-ish.
23rd to 25th, I think.
Something like
that. And that's going to be I-49, and everyone should
to
be
26th.
going. 23rd to 26th, so everyone should be looking up who possibly would be able to go, because there's a couple of tribe players going. I'm going, Doc's going. We have a few other people who are considering
I might be going, depending on when it is, who it is.
I know Knutson might be going.
All that jazz.
From Sweden, so if he's coming from Sweden, then you've really got no excuse. Especially you, Jim. Come on, man.
Wait, I have no excuse for not doing what?
Coming to
you're not
Telford
even listening.
for the
Wow,
Insomnia LAN in August.
Coming to some... I didn't hear what you said, but I'm assuming it's somewhere in the UK?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Telford.
Yeah, no excuse at all. You're right. You know? You just...
So it's a 700 quid plane ride. Come on, man.
Hey,
like,
well,
get on it.
How about
Right?
if you pay for the, the flight and all of that, then I'll give you a lift from the airport. That
awesome.
now you have no excuse.
Now I'm going, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that and say thanks to Juzzo for jumping in. Who won the water challenge?
We haven't done it. That's why I'm trying to push us on.
We're going to do that as a big ending because you were so excited about how many people were applied for it and stuff. So let's move on to that now. Thanks for calling in, Stowaway. We might see you again on a future Behind the Blue Plate.
I'll see you guys when
your valuable contributions are obviously always valued.
Do I get a code or what?
No.
Yeah, no, that wasn't.
I'll give you a code. What code do you want, Stoey?
No, I'm alright. I'm okay. Thank you, though. That's very nice of you.
Alright.
Alright, Stowe, you might as well stick around because you've seen these as well, and you can vote. Yeah. So we're going to move into the Blue Plate Challenge this week, which was the Mortar Challenge. And this is great because we actually got a whole bunch of contributions. Now, I think someone might have sent me one in the last hour, like halfway through the show. Don't remember who you were, but I'm not going to play it. Didn't have time. And we've already got enough to watch. So I'm just going to throw them straight up. Now I'm going to pipe this sound to you guys in the mumble, which might be a bit disorienting, but it's just so you guys know when we're coming in and out. So yeah, now the idea here is that everyone on the panel is going to vote. And I'm also going to get everyone in the chat going to vote because I've got this awesome poll thing going on. So yeah, I'm going to do a poll at the end so that the chat can vote, and maybe we'll give the chat winner a prize and we'll give the panel winner a prize. If it's the same person, they probably still only get one prize. So here we go. We're going to start off with Mr. Michael Kim, who's given us 2 entries, and here we go with number 1. Oh, that's not it. No. Let's try that again. So I'll let the stream catch up just briefly. Boom. So there you go. That was a pretty long range shot. And I'm just going to put his second one on straight away. So this is Michael Kim. I don't know what his in-game name is, but let's try again. There you go. So they are both of Michael Kim's shots. Pretty good long range ones there. What do you reckon, Juzzo?
I'm appreciating both of those, although I'm looking for longer airtime. I want that 10-second break in airtime or that 9-second airtime. No, I want that. I want the fact that you need a counter on the screen just to keep track of the fact that you fired a missile to be the one that wins for me. Okay. So those were like 4 or 5 seconds. That's good, but I'd like to see it get a little better than that.
All right, well, let's keep moving. So remember, guys, that was Michael Kim. We'll figure out who that actually is a bit later on. I'm going to move on to a guy called Morrigan. Why do you keep doing that, expert? Go away. Morrigan.
That music, man.
Yeah, it's good music.
It is great music. I love it.
So this one is, again, not too long. Wait for the stream to catch up. So yeah, that was interesting. Just kind of, you know, fire and forget, as they might say. What do you reckon about that one, Jim?
That was pretty crazy. I don't know. It's shots like that that make me wonder if people just, you know, go for them 100 times and land them once, or if they're actually doing that consistently. But
Well,
it's a very nice shot.
Obviously on purpose. I mean.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, he was aiming at the flight carrier, right? So.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he I think he hit the target he was aiming for. That's
I just
that's
like
for
he
sure.
scrolled through a menu before he got the kill.
Yeah, like that's like I love that stuff, but I can understand that a lot of people seem unfazed by it, especially chat seems a bit bored by that almost. So you know, maybe the public vote won't go to that one.
All right, well let's keep it moving. So the next one I'm going to put on is Vice Lords. He submitted this earlier today.
This is such bad play.
35.
Nice, Chaz. I'm gonna go in for Conk. Fuck!
Did it start? 2-1. I got it.
I got it.
Direct hit him. I might have this. Got it.
Oh, man, that
Yeah, let's go.
you do that.
Yeah, just wait for chat. So there you go. Bit of defensive mortar shooting there. What did you reckon about that one, Greaper?
I think that's definitely my favourite so far.
Oh yeah,
not just getting one, not two, but three people, and it was just so natural.
Yeah, and Jamie McComb saying such bad play.
All right, cool. We'll keep this thing moving. This next one is from D's. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but here we go.
Keba's probably gonna be back in front. Yeah, it's back. Oh, what? Oh my god, I killed him.
Sniper's almost down.
So there you go. You know, extra points for killing Narc of all people. What do you reckon that one's though?
Yeah, that's
Well,
gotta be the winner.
It really has to be the winner. I mean, he's on my, he's on my team, right?
I mean, as a standee, that's just impressive.
Well, the second one looked like it actually took a lot of skill, you know, and good timing.
You mean, so you're not talking about this one we just watched?
Right, the second one before. This one was all right.
You mean
wow.
the third one? You mean the
Taylor
third one.
obviously hasn't learnt to hate Narc enough yet. Oh, don't worry,
Yeah,
we can
seeing
train you
Narc
with
die just gives me some internal boner.
No, I don't hate
Internal.
Narc. I don't know.
Like a boner for my soul.
But no, I know what you mean. Like for me, that was, you know, it's kind of a good kill, but it was just kind of, to be honest, spam really.
I disagree. It killed Narc. That's never spam. That's essential.
All right, let's keep it moving. This is going to be Hoo-Hum. I think this one's slightly longer. Yeah, he's got several here, and they are all worth watching. So I will leave it on this one.
Just a quick note.
Yeah, go on.
Can I just quickly say, I'd prefer if people didn't do this.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
If I
Pick
had
your best
separate
one.
submissions, please submit them separately.
Yeah.
Shall we disqualify it?
No, it's
at
not a
least see him.
montage because it's specifically for this. I won't accept montages, but if it's a couple of these like this, I will accept them. But please try and submit them separately, just because some are crap and some are good, and we don't have to share the whole thing that way.
There's also no sound on this one.
Oh no, that I like that. You see, I like that a lot. That's using a mortar the way you're supposed to use a mortar.
But that doesn't really take a lot of skill. The second video, it was really good.
I mean, if that didn't
I
take
agree.
skill,
The movement
That
doesn't take
takes
skill,
skill,
but
that's
knowing where to like get that at the knowing when to stop jetting, knowing when to shoot, knowing where to aim, all those things combined just to get that one shot, and that chase is beautiful. Who is this guy? Who?
This is Hoo-Hum.
Hoo-Hum.
Yeah.
I think he even had a montage out recently. I think his
Hoo-Hum,
montage
I
got
think
posted.
Three submissions might be pushing it, but those first two were very good.
This number 4 of his is my favorite, actually. It's coming up.
I'm still on 3.
You'll get there.
Yeah,
You'll get
you're a
there.
little bit behind.
Hang on.
Actually, yeah. This is my one.
This is, talk about premeditated.
We got 4 loading up at the moment. Yeah, that good.
like that is my favorite. So far.
I think
like just
I
one
think
shot.
He
that's
spotted
it.
the Kappa, but then killed someone else. I think.
Oh, is that
looking
not
at
the Kappa
names.
that he killed?
I don't think because he spotted the person, and I don't think it was.
That's gonna be
But
the
still,
winner.
it's got to be right.
Well, we've got one more. So let's.
Don't mean to belittle other people's entries, but that's going to take a hell of a lot of beat.
Well, here we go. This is Eunice. Again, wait for the chat.
I really like that one. That was probably before that was my vote, just because it was like it's not necessarily about the best kill; it's about the coolest one. Like, and he got a triple kill, bouncing off the strike. Obviously, didn't mean to, but it was still awesome. And he's listening to
One,
Sum
he
41.
didn't mean to, and two, the music was terrible.
Dude, that's Sum 41. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's Sum 41.
So there we go.
Was I just saying that Sum 41
that's not working. Sorry, Taylor, this isn't working. It's alright, we'll go back to what we were doing. Sorry, I'm just trying to muck around. So to recap, basically we had, I'll just sort of run through them very, very quickly just for chat. So we had Michael Kim with these 2 shots, which were pretty good long-range shots. You might recall, as I skip through them a little bit. Bang, bang, bang. Then we had, so that was number 1, and I'll put a poll in the chat in a sec. We had Morrigan.
Vote 1.
Yeah, well, that's what it will be. So Michael Kim, Morrigan here with sort of the blind, dangerous crossing shot. Then we had, I believe, Vice Lord's exceptional sort of mortar chasing skills, just clearing off the enemy defense there. There's 1 kill. And
that's
he'll
number
get
3.
These 2 over here. So that's number 3. Then we had, I believe it was D's next, doing the flag stand D on Sunstar here, just sort of lobbing them over that hill and cleaning up Narc, so extra points for killing Narc. And then we had, I believe it was Hoo-Hum next. So Hoo-Hum with 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to just sort of skip to 4 because that was probably the one worth talking about, where he just sort of spots this Kappa and lobs one over the hill, and it's hard to tell whether or not he did get the Kappa or not, but either way, it's still impressive for a one-shotter. And then, of course, we've got Yunus taking out not only all of the, I think it was the defenders there, but also the Shrike as well. I'm not sure how he managed to kill the Shrike, because like it bounced off the Shrike. The Shrike kept moving, and then the Shrike went down. So maybe because he hit it, it might have crashed. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Either way, he gets a Shrike kill and a triple kill. So pretty impressive stuff.
Chat seems torn. Can we please stop that music?
Well, that music? Sorry, I didn't know I was sending music.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't call it music either. Don't worry.
So I'm going to set up the poll. So you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Chat's torn. You know, we've got Volax calling out for Vice or Yunus. People are shouting out that because Narc died, you know, he deserved it.
Yeah, that is a good.
Shouting, they love it. 9watt saying Diaz or Ho-Hum. So people are actually people are torn themselves. And people now are saying that Vice's was best. Vice seems to be taking it in chat. Let's see how it turns out when we actually get a vote going. My vote's for Hoo-Hum. I think that was some beautiful shots. I love the airtime. Love the fact he killed Narc.
So vote 1 for Michael Kim, vote 2 for Morrigan, vote 3 for D's, vote 4 for Hoo-Hum, 5 for Vice Lord, and 6 for Eunice. Now, I actually got the Vice Lord and Hoo-Hum backwards, so hopefully that doesn't screw people up. But we'll see very, very soon. Yeah, I like this. But while chat's figuring it out, let's work it around the panel. Juzzo, who's your vote?
Hoo-Hum.
Hoo-Hum. Hoo-Hum, you sure?
Yeah.
So Hoo-Hum was...
It's got the aim, it's got the airtime, it's got...
Right, so the number 4. Right, so the number 4 Hoo-Hum.
Yeah, number 4.
Gotcha, okay. Right, so 1 for Hoo-Hum. GReaper, who's your call?
Vice Lord.
Vice Lord, there we go. So 1 for Hoo-Hum, 1 for Vice Lord. Jim Christ?
I don't know whose it was, but the Shrike one.
Okay, so that's Eunice. So we've got...
Number 6.
Number 6 so far.
Split vote so far.
Taylor, who did you like?
I don't remember.
Well, just describe it.
Where you killed Vice, you liked Vice Lords, I think.
The one where he killed
3 people, yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 for Vice Lord.
It was the second one that we had watched. The one I said actually took skill with the mortar shots.
Wow, we've got a tie in chat between Hoo-Hum and Eunice.
So that was Morrigan from Taylor. I mean, we're all torn in discussion.
I'm going to go with Hoo-Hum.
What's your vote for them?
Okay. Which is going to bring it down to Stowe. Stowaway, who's your vote?
So if you vote Eunice, we have a full-on tie. Like
which one was Eunice? His was the Shrike.
Eunice
wasn't it?
Eunice was the last one. Yeah.
Wait, who voted for D's then?
No one on the panel.
Well, then I was actually going to vote for him. Plus, I mean, 1, he's on my team. 2, it was an awesome shot, and 3, Narc dies. So that internal boner is just raging in my soul.
So we've actually in the panel we've got a tie between Vice Lord and Hoo Hum.
And on chat we have a tie between Eunice and Hoo Hum, and I think that decides it.
Well, I wanted a chat winner and a panel winner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could just say Hoo Hum wins.
I mean,
that's kind of crap.
Yeah.
I'm going to run the poll again between just Hoo Hum and Vice Lord. Sorry, Hoo Hum and Eunice.
Okay, so who won the panel one?
It's a tie. We'll figure that out in a sec.
Okay. This is so confusing.
Round 2. Vote now.
Okay, so there goes the next panel. Sorry, the next chat vote. So people vote 1 for Vice Lord, 2 for Eunice, and we'll see who gets it out of that. I don't know how to figure out this panel draw though. All right. I'm going to make everyone choose between one of the either Vice Lord, so that was the sort of the 3 kill as the people were scrambling for the flag, or Hoo Hum, which was the spot from long range. Jim, you got to pick one of those 2.
Wait, was one of them the Shrike one?
No.
Then I'll take the long range one, I think.
Okay, so that's a Hoo Hum. GReaper?
Vice Lord again.
Okay, that's fine. Stoke?
Hoo Hum.
Okay, Hoo Hum. And Taylor?
Vice Lord.
I think that's another fucking tie.
Unbelievable.
God
Why
damn
do you
it.
have 6 people in
Screw
the
it.
channel, Doc?
I don't care. They all win. So we'll see what happens with chat. Hoo Hum's going to win. Vice Lord's going to win. And for that matter, Eunice is going to win as well. So there we go.
I mean, like I say, I've got a sense skin. I've got a sense skin that I can donate to the cause.
Get a code. You get a code.
Well, and it worked out anyway in chat because Eunice won the chat vote. So there we go.
Okay.
All 3 of these people are winners. So well done.
Apparently you screwed up the vote.
What do you mean I screwed up the vote?
That's what they're saying. I don't
Screw
know.
it. It's my show. I'm going to do what I like.
Yeah.
The winners are Eunice, Hoo Hum, and
and
Vice Lord.
to a high degree of standard.
I used the wrong people. Oh shit, did I? Who was I supposed to use? Hoo Hum and Eunice were tied, not freaking Vice Lord. Either way, Eunice, Hoo Hum, and Vice Lord are all winners today. Well done, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Thank you to everybody who submitted. It was great getting so many submissions.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And I'd love to see that again for future competitions. I don't know what I'm going to give all you guys, but I'm going to make a note that I owe Hoo Hum, Vice Lord, and Eunice some tribes loot, which I will go and hassle high res for a little bit later on. And
So was that running for 2 weeks? That competition?
No, that was 1 week. We tried to get a grab cycle kill for 2 weeks, and no one had anything decent to show.
We got
for that.
1.
Yeah, but it was
We
shit.
got 1. Yeah, it was just an auto win. I mean, what's next week?
Don't know. Taylor, do you have a blue plate challenge that we can put out there to the community for next week?
Blue plate challenge? I was actually gonna sort of talk about the Wilder Zone and maybe getting a competition section for montages on there. That would be interesting. But I don't have like a challenge for anybody.
Can you make one up? Go and put you on the spot.
Oh geez, okay.
So to give you examples of what we've had in the past, obviously the mortar challenge. We tried grab cycle kill, but that didn't work. We tried 360 kill. That one was quite successful. So you had to do a 360 and make a kill. I think they were the 2 probably most popular ones we've had, Stowe.
I think the best ones is something that you get often or is easy to do, but you can have an impressive one. Like a mod shot isn't hard.
But 1% of the time you get some really impressive version of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Could we do one that's kind of like I don't want to discourage people from playing, but have you ever been in a match and you just keep killing the same person over and over again, and then you want to see how many more times you can kill them? I think that'd be
That's
really
not
cool
bad.
to see how many times you can kill the same person in one match. You got to screen cap it, take some video of it. It's a really good kill.
So
Okay, so
Yeah,
we
that's
do video
say.
of the kills and the screenshot of the game at the end of the game.
Yep.
I don't think that helps.
Wait, no, you can't really do that.
Why not?
But I mean,
because
if we,
then you'll have a video of the whole game.
But if we have people making montages of just
video of the
every
game into,
kill
like,
screen,
5
right?
kills or whatever,
you
and then you show
cut the
5 on the
gameplay
scoreboard.
into small segments, like each kill.
Yeah.
And then their nameplate coming up each time.
Yes, I love it. That's
Ooh,
awesome.
Maybe maximum
I'm
30
mean.
second
I
video?
know I'm mean.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I
rage quit.
like that suggestion. Keep it under 30 seconds, otherwise it's going to be forever.
Yeah, like
so
we don't
want to
see like
someone
10
700 times in a match. Congrats to you, you're amazing. But for the love of God, just keep each kill to smack kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not going through minutes.
Narc is claiming he's going to be all over this, so double points to anybody that manages to troll kill Narc repetitively.
Yeah,
in
Narc
match.
is going to go and do this to APC. I can see it coming. That's all he wants to ever do with his time. But yeah, I'm not getting 10-minute videos and looking through them. Keep it short.
Yeah, no, you've got to cut it yourself, guys. You've got to give us a montage of kill. We're not going to go watching your whole VOD.
So is it the most?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Like, because it could be very, someone gives us 5 blue plate kills of the same person versus somebody just chain hauling someone down.
I think
it's going to be another vote. It's going to be another vote for the best montage.
Like, if I see somebody with a submission of frickin' 50, oh look, I'm an imp and I backstab a sniper,
right?
And that's your submission, then just please throw that in the trash can. Don't
exactly.
Don't
So the point is, it's going to be another vote on who does it the coolest. That's the way we work, and that's the way we're going to stay. Awesome. Well, we're pretty late again. I thought this would be one of our shortest shows, and it's gone to nearly 3 hours again. So we're going to move into final thoughts and shout outs. Let's start with you, Jim.
I guess shout out to everyone working behind the scenes to make NA Tribes the website it is. I would list them all off, but I would probably forget someone, and don't want to do that. So thanks to everyone who posts news stories or works on web dev or makes those graphics or any of that. And who else should I give a shout out to? Shout out to Hi-Res APC, my personal favorite Hi-Res employee. No offense to any of the others.
Wow. Way to put down KB and Kate, man.
Dude, I'm repping Hi-Res Nabil over here.
They can be like second, third, fourth.
Did you not hear my story about Todd earlier?
Yeah, that's true.
Shout out to Halamar, because he helped me learn how to get some routes down.
Whoa, Taylor, wait.
You'll get your turn.
Jesus, Taylor.
I'm almost done.
Wow.
I'm almost done now. Shout out to Tau of Tribe, especially Immune. And I think and all of our ladder admins as well. Everyone who stepped to toe ladder admin, shout out to them as well. So that is Veer, David Bowie, and Demitsu. And I think I'm done.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Jim. Over to you, GReaper. Final thoughts and shout-outs.
Shout-outs to everyone on IRC who has constantly been highlighting me to try and get me to smile throughout this show.
Yeah, your camera kind of died near the end. I don't know what happened.
Sorry, the battery on my laptop went.
Okay, no stress.
Shout-outs to everyone else in Team Aurum, to the rest of the Game Shrine crew, and yeah, thanks for having me on.
Always a pleasure, GReaper. Taylor, this is your time.
I'm sorry for hijacking the shout-out time, but shout out to Halamar and Voltage and everybody who's really helped me learn new things when I'm trying to move into the competitive scene and everything.
Cool. And what's your Twitch channel so people can watch you stream?
My Twitch channel is TaylerMykel. That is spelled TaylerMykel.
Cool. Good stuff. So go and subscribe to that channel and give Taylor some support over there as she makes some more content for Tribe. So thank you very much, Taylor. Stowaway, any final thoughts and shout-outs?
I want to say thanks so much for Juzzo covering me. He did obviously an excellent job, and I hope you guys enjoyed having him on because he's awesome, and he's the kind of person who's going to be on regularly, hopefully. Just because he's awesome. Oh, didn't hear that.
Oh, no, doesn't matter.
You're going out.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Problems like you.
But yep, I'll be taking back my seat with pride next week.
I've warmed it for you.
Yeah, cheers, man. That's awesome. And
that's not all you've done. We heard in the break.
And shout out to Team K out #1 NA team. Go 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 go. Shout out to Little. Shout out to Doc Matrix putting the show together as always, and the guest coming on even though I wasn't here for all of it. And I am Catbug.
You are Catbug. That's new. Immune's trying to send me stuff. I'm sorry, guys. When you send me stuff on IRC, I can't use it because this IRC is on a different computer, so I can't use that link. I'm sorry, Immune. Next time, send it to me next week, and I'll play it for you if it's not.
I think it's him rapping. So
okay, well, next week, Immune will play that, but send it to my email or something. Yuzzo, final thoughts and shoutouts.
Well, shout out to Hero Mackie blatantly. How could you people forget him? Fucking Hero Mackie, let me hear it for you, boy.
He's been on the show, you know that, right?
I don't know who he is at all, but he wanted to shout out, show fair play to him because, you know, he deserves that
He's
shit.
like one of the captains of Puppy Kisses, man. You don't know Hero Maki? God.
I don't know anybody. I don't know
Hero
Maki.
Maki.
Hero Maki
shout out to Doc Matrix, who yesterday gave me a recipe for wrapping bacon around chicken and putting it on a bed of leeks and then cooking it because that tasted delicious. Shout out to Wilkinson's, the store that sells gardening goods, because I was able to get a little garden set up on my balcony, which I'm really proud of. Shout out to the fact that I managed to wake up this morning for work on time, no less, which was badass. Yeah, so it's been a good week. Who else wants to shout out? You got 3 or 4 seconds to chat to kind of get it in there.
Oh, can you give Nordsmark a shout out for tickling butt cheeks?
Nordsmark, shout out to you, son, for tickling them butt cheeks. Oh yeah, sing it like that. That's how we do it. Yeah, that's about it.
Yep, that'll do. Thanks, Yuzzo. If I didn't have a baby sleeping in the next room, I'd GG button you. That'll do. Thanks, Yuzzo. Well done. You okay?
Do you want any shout outs, Doc?
Yeah, go on. Give me some more shout outs.
No, he meant,
no,
are you gonna?
You give the shout outs to people. We don't shout you out just because, like...
Shout out to Doc Matrix.
Yeah, shout out to Doc Matrix.
Thank you very much to all the guests we've had on tonight. Thank you very much, Jim Christ, GReaper, TaylerMykel, for coming on and giving us an illumination of what it's like to be a new player in Tribes and some of the things that affect you. It was really, really cool to get that perspective, and I'd love to have you on the show again, particularly if you get more involved in the competitive scene, and you know what it's like sort of moving from that pub player to the comp player. That would be very, very cool. Looking forward to having you back again next week, Stowe. But Yuzzo, thank you very much for being an amazing co-host. You've done an excellent job tonight. So thank you very much for filling in at late notice and basically carrying us through.
It's what I do. Carrying is what I'm known for. I really want to go smoke a joint. Can I just go smoke a joint now? Is that okay?
We're nearly there, mate. I'm just going to be a big shout out to everybody watching tonight. It's been great fun having you here. It's not a show without the viewers, so thank you very much. Of course, we'll be back again next Wednesday night, same time, same place. The Tribes Ascend channel, 3 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central European time. Look out for the NATL starting in just a few days, so make sure you get your sign-ups there. The EUTL just around the corner as well. Get involved. Go sign up to Frag Nation. We want people on that. So all you US people, stop mucking around and get your butts on Frag Nation. Until then, it's been Behind the Blue Plate. Thanks very much, guys. We'll catch you next Wednesday. Have a good evening.